Mason, you love collectibles, apparel, and more of your favourite pop culture franchises delivered to your door every month, don't you?
Shut up. Yes, give them to me. give me in a handy box format. Do it now.
So you mean things like t-shirts, figurines, comics, stuff for your kitchen, a wide range of exclusive items that you can't get anywhere else, even if you try, but you wouldn't because you suck, because you're not good at anything.
Oh, this took a turn.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. No, you're right. No, you're right. I can't go outside. I wish people would just deliver the collectibles to me. I bloody love them. I build a fort around myself and never leave the house.
Well, you're in luck, Mason.
I am in luck, actually. I literally have them surrounding me right now.
You know it. I'm talking about Loot Crate, of course, which is a monthly subscription service for epic geek and gamer items and pop culture gear. For less than $20 a month, you get 6 to 8 items, which is all the things that I talked about. And it might be like Harry Potter, Marvel, like Fallout, Star Wars, a whole bunch of other stuff. This month's box is, we talked about it last week, didn't we? Antihero, and you can get it up. It's up until the 19th till you can get it. But we get a different box this week, which is what we'd quickly talk about.
We got Loot Gaming.
Because there's a whole bunch of different stuff.
There's a whole bunch of different
Loot
ones,
Pets,
right?
And there's Loot Star Wars and Loot.
Did you say Loot Pants?
Pets.
Oh.
There is a Loot t-shirt one.
There is,
which we should talk about as well.
We should talk about it, yeah.
But Loot Gaming.
We got Loot Gaming, so it's like, and it's got what I like, this one especially. So the theme was Stranded this month.
Yep.
And so I'm a big fan of...
Like you, stranded at home, trapped.
Yeah, exactly, how I like it. I'm not throwing any messages in bottles out there.
Nah.
I don't want anybody to know I'm there.
Don't worry about it.
But like, I like a fake corporation.
Yeah.
Like a TV.
like an umbrella or
or what have you. But so this one, it's the Benoit Palms Resort in the game Dead Island.
Yes.
And so we've got a Palms Resort, like I've stolen a towel from their resort. So there's like a
bloody towel.
Like a towel. It's got the Benoit Royal Palms Resort logo on it on one side. And I'm like, oh, that's a pretty nice towel. I'll put that in my bathroom. And there's like a massive bloodstained hand, like a on there. So it's good. I'm enjoying this one.
I don't.
Oh, it's a nice size.
Is that real blood? They sent you an actual bloodied towel.
Well, look, it may not be real blood now, but shortly there'll be some real blood on it. Let me tell you that.
Absolutely. So if you head over to lootcrate.com/weeklyplanet and enter the promo... Oh, sorry, I dropped this texter that I had in my hand.
Give me the texter.
This is mine, and I will not give it to you.
Give me the texter.
All right.
Give it. Another collectible for this guy.
I've got here somewhere.
No.
Lootcrate.com/weeklyplanet and enter the code weeklyplanet, one word. You save $3 off any new subscription. And that's pretty good.
That is good.
Especially if you wanted to save $3 off. And it helps out the show. Helps out us, doesn't it? Stop rustling your Assassin's Creed flask. It's got no booze in it, Mason. Put it down.
Not yet.
Yeah. Would you pour like a pina colada in there?
Yeah, like a coconut water.
Oh,
something
delightful.
tropical.
Yeah, I hear you,
A
man.
rum drink, perhaps.
I don't like a rum drink.
Huh.
Yeah, it's not really my thing.
Not Captain Morgan.
He's alright, I guess. I like a clear liquid, a clear alcohol. It's actually better for you. I mean, it's still bad for you, but the clearer the alcohol, the better it is for you.
Huh.
I don't know the specifics of it.
Is there some sort of handy rhyme?
I'm sure there is. When it's in the clear, you're in the clear. The clear part rhymes with clear.
Oh,
Do you know
okay,
what I mean?
great.
That's what makes it a rhyme,
nice.
right?
Yeah, that was really good. You
Great.
did well.
Let's do the show.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Red hot comic book movie news, shooting up your butthole. The Weekly Planet, the Weekly Planet.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Weekly Planet, official podcast of comicbookmovie.com, where we talk movies, comics, TV shows. My name is James, also known as Mr. Sunday. With me, as always, is my co-host, Nicholas Mason. Oh, is that an excited shooting of guns?
No, I'm just on the run from the cops.
Oh, I understand.
Yeah. It's all right. They're taking a break. It's fine.
That's good.
We'll do the show.
Do the show.
What's new with you?
Well, it's bad news to start with.
Oh.
Not for me personally.
I thought you were going to talk about your trip to the football.
I went to the football today. You know that about me.
Yeah.
It was fine.
To support neither of the teams that were
Yes,
playing.
that's right. I was at the pub afterwards because I'm sitting with my friends who support Essendon, and I don't give a shit about football. I like a good game of anything, but I don't care ultimately. And they're like, "You love Essendon, we all love Essendon. You love them, right?" And I'm like, "Yep, love them. They're I love. Jeez, look at them go. Look at them get out there. Just a bunch of men crashing into each other. That's what I'm about. Are you up to anything?
No.
Do you want to go to the football?
No.
Okay.
Well, my team by family is Essendon.
Oh, okay.
But they're not doing very
I didn't
well.
see you at the game.
Yeah.
They won today, Mason.
Well.
And that's...
So now they're second bottom from the...
No, they're
second.
still bottom.
Okay, great. Fantastic.
Speaking of bad news, though, Mason.
Oh, yeah, good
This is
segue.
much worse bad news than a team I don't
Well,
care about.
I think certain
in a
Essendon
game.
supporters would disagree with you, but continue.
Sure. Kenny Baker has passed away,
Oh,
age
he did.
81,
Yeah.
which totally sucks. For people who don't know, he was he's R2-D2.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah.
He's the R2-D2.
He is the R2-D2. So he pioneered that character and brought life to it. But I'm not going to say, I'm going to use some quotes here from some people associated with Star Wars because they obviously knew him better than you or I did. George Lucas said, Kenny Baker was a real gentleman, as well as an incredible trooper who always worked hard under difficult circumstances. A talented vaudevillian who could always make everybody laugh. Kenny was truly the heart and soul of R2-D2 and will be missed by all his fans and everyone who knew him. Ewan McGregor says, so sorry to hear about this. I loved working with Kenny. And Mark Hamill, which I think this is my favourite shout out. Goodbye, Kenny Baker, a lifelong loyal friend. I loved his optimism and determination. He was the droid I was looking for.
Ah, that's pretty good.
He's all class Hamill, isn't
Yeah,
he?
he really was. Yeah.
So that sucks, man. That's
Yeah.
no good.
If you want to see his face in a movie, you should watch Time Bandits.
Absolutely,
He's in
yeah,
Time Bandits.
definitely. He pops up in other Star Wars movies as well. As other characters. I know he played like a few Ewoks and what. He was supposed to play Wicket initially, and he got sick. And that's why Warwick Davis ended up in that role. I think that's the story behind it. Yeah, that sucks, Kenny Baker. We're sorry that you're gone. 81 though, not a bad innings.
Pretty good innings.
Not terrible.
Like they say in the football.
That's what
A
they
good
say.
innings.
Get it into the net. Mm-hmm. Swish. Okay. More bad news, Mason.
Aw.
Bad Boys 3 is happening, apparently. It's happening for real. You a fan of the Bad Boys series?
The first one's pretty good.
I haven't seen it. I've only seen the second one, and I hated it so much that I refused
Real
to watch
bad,
the
yeah.
first one.
Look, but that's the thing. I remember the first one being good, but I think when it came out, it might have been that era of my adolescence where if there were just dudes just shooting guns and
Yeah.
being cool,
Doing
I
a
thought it was a
jump
great film.
sideways and firing two guns.
Yeah, so it might have been. So it might just be cool, and that, but I don't really remember if it's actually good. I should rewatch it.
Taya
Leone's in it.
Martin
yeah.
Lawrence.
Yeah, but
William
the second
Smith.
one. So either the second one was a massive dip in quality, or my brain stopped going. Anything with people shooting guns sideways is cool.
Yeah.
and then I realized that the second one was bad. So I haven't seen the first one in years. So I don't know.
Okay, who knows? Well, Bad Boys 3 will be titled Bad Boys for Life. Now, I've actually written as
Bad Boys 3, Bad Boys 4, Life.
Yes, that's right.
Great.
Now, I've written it as Bad Boys, the number 4, and LYF. I don't think that's how they're...
No.
But I think they should. But here's the thing. This movie's coming out January 2018, and then the sequel, Bad Boys 4, is coming out July 2019. So this one should be Bad Boys thrice, let's say, and the next one's
Sure.
Bad Boys for Life. Surely,
Yeah,
right?
You'd think so, yeah.
Man, why aren't we in charge of this franchise we don't like?
Yeah, right?
That's my question. Mm-hmm. Joe Carnahan's doing it. Michael Bay's not. He did the A-Team, which is fine, but he also did The Grey, which I really like.
Is that Wolf Fight?
It's wolf fight, but there's very little wolf fighting in that movie. But I think it's okay. Have you ever seen it?
No.
It's really good. It's like it's about like men coping with death in like the wilderness. It's really good.
But there's some wolf fighting.
There is limited wolf fighting.
So potentially there is potential for Martin Lawrence at some point during the filming of either of these two to be attacked by a big dog.
it is possible.
Great.
But I also think that if it was going to go either of those two ways, it would be more A-Team than it would be wolf fight.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. So they are really they're committed to this. When did Bad Boys 2 come out? Like
I want to say like 2002.
so
2003 maybe?
a 14 there hasn't been one in 14 years and they're committing to two back to back. That is pretty impressive. I guess cuz people like Will Smith
2003, yeah.
people like Will Smith just Will Smithing around.
Yeah, but you know what? He needs to start Will Smithing around more.
Yeah.
He did it in Suicide Squad, which I appreciated a lot.
Me too.
Stop trying to win Oscars, mate. Give it a rest.
Yeah.
Far out. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
But also, I don't want to see these, so where do you go?
Do I though?
You know what? I'll see it. I'll bloody get into
Because
it.
the
benefit of doubt.
Right, because the
Mason.
premise of the first one was that Will Smith was like real cool and Martin Lawrence was tough but not cool. And then in the second one,
that the premise?
So not well, I mean there was plot or whatever. But then the premise of the second one was that Will Smith was real cool
And real
Martin
rich.
and real rich, and Martin Lawrence was real lame.
Yeah,
Like,
and he had a pool.
yeah, that's right.
A big plot
So-
point was that he had a pool that he
Yeah.
loved.
Yeah. And then they went to Cuba.
God, they went to Cuba for so long. Because
Yeah.
I remember being like, this is a really long movie. And then they went, let's go to Cuba. And
Henry
then it went
Rollins
for like
Henry
40
Rollins
minutes.
showed up and he's like, Go to Cuba, guys. You all need to go to Cuba.
And then the lady at the end says, I'm just going to put down my gun on
I'm
this
not-
mine.
Yeah, there it is.
It's pretty good.
It is good. Spoiler
Yeah,
alert.
Spoiler alert.
So they're really going to commit. So I kind of want to know where their characters are right now.
Absolutely.
Like his
Can
Will
they both be cool now? Or is Will Smith too old? Because he's like 47?
Right.
And Martin Lawrence might be early 50s?
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you think they're going to try and pretend that they're still cool? What are they still doing in the police department? You know what I mean?
Do you mean they should be fired
Yes.
for being bad boys?
No, but yeah. Yeah, bad boys get no treats.
That's true.
But what I'm saying is like, surely if Will Smith's character is really rich,
Yeah.
and also a terrible cop,
Yes.
she should have retired by now. And since Martin Lawrence is really old,
Yeah.
should have also retired.
But they're
So
not
what are
really
they doing?
that.
Maybe they're
different in
vigilante
age.
bad boys.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, look, we'll see it, I guess.
Yeah. we'll
Both
have to-
of them, I guess.
Yeah.
January's an interesting release date, though.
That's normally the toilet of.
Do you think people are like, well, Star Wars just had
That's
like
the garbage pit.
It is.
But not anymore. That's
Not
what I'm
anymore.
saying. It's
Any
evolving.
month can be anything.
Yeah.
It seems at this point. I think because Star Wars gets like a 6-week free run.
Yeah.
So I think they kind of want to get in on that. Be like, well, let's make a movie for people who don't want to see Star Wars. You know what I mean? It's almost like counter programming in a way, except not really.
And they're usually bad.
Generally.
Yeah. So if you don't want to watch a massive budget Star Wars movie that might be at least pretty good, here's something that's really bad that costs the same amount of money to you. Very good.
Speaking of bad news, Mason.
Oh yeah.
I guess this is, I don't know. How do you feel about the Resident Evil franchise?
You know what? We spoke about this earlier. I'm pretty sure I didn't see the last one.
I definitely didn't see
The
the
last one I saw was the one where
Clones in
there were a
fake
lot
Japan.
of clones, and at the end they were on a boat, and she fought. Wesker was
No,
on a boat.
that was the one before that. The last one was the one where they made a whole lot of replica cities of Times Square and Tokyo.
That's what I mean. The one I saw was the.
Oh, right, sorry, okay, I
So this
apologise.
is Resident Evil. The final chapter is
Yeah.
6. So the last one I saw was 4.
Yeah, that's
which is
one
the
I
one that
saw.
ended on a boat, and Wesker's just fighting everybody, and at one point he gets stabbed through the head, and he's still fighting.
Yes.
and it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah.
Doesn't he get kicked with glass at the end? or
Oh,
something?
yeah, through his head. Yeah.
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 We've talked about this before. There's always that one bit in the trailer where you're like, oh, hey.
Yeah, there's always one bit in the movie where, like, when the next one comes out, you go, oh, remember when they crash landed the plane and all the zombies and
Like
it just
smushed the zombies,
propellers
yeah.
just tore them all to pieces? That was cool. I should
was
see this
cool.
next one, but I didn't see the last one. So guess what? That hasn't been imprinted in my brain. So this one looks like garbage.
Did you see anything in the trailer that made you go, this is what I'm about? I love this franchise.
No.
Where's Leon Kennedy? Is he back?
Which one's that?
He's from the game. Is he in the movies? I think he might be. I don't know. I know Chris Redfield's in it. God, these games are confusing.
Yeah, look, but from what I can tell, so she had incredible psychic powers for a couple of movies.
But then she didn't, but then she did.
But now
and
that-
then she got them taken away.
And they came back in the last one. I think they were given back in the last one, but now she's lost them again.
And there's also one where there's like 10 of her. There's like a whole lot of her.
There's a team of clones, yeah.
Yeah, I think they must explain that in the last one that we didn't see. Man. It's probably the best video game franchise.
Oh, sure, right.
I mean, it's the one that won't stop. That's
true.
Do you really think it's the final chapter?
Uh,
I mean, if it makes no money, yes. But let's say it makes the same money as the others, where it does enough. Do you think they'll make another one?
well, maybe Mila Jovovich is just like, I'm not doing any more after this.
Really, I think she would. It seems to be like her thing.
Okay.
Yeah,
Does it look like she's having fun?
yeah. She seems to be having a good time. She looks great.
Maybe that's acting.
Oh my god, I never. Yeah, that's
right,
They can do that, can't they?
They can do those people can do that. Yeah. The French.
Is she French? I've got no idea.
I don't know. Does anything? It looks exactly the same as all the other
Yeah.
ones. They're going into a ruined city.
Ukrainian-born American actress.
Close enough.
Yeah.
There's that guy, the bad guy's still alive. He's in a super high-tech underground bunker with unlimited resources again.
Yeah. Where's the money for these viruses that they're making? Who's buying them in this world where there is nothing?
Correct.
It was a desert, but maybe it's not a desert. Remember the one where it was a desert?
The whole world turned into a desert. That was maybe 3.
I really liked 3 though, from memory. Well, I saw it.
But what does this trailer have that
I don't
compels you?
remember.
It's got that thumbprint motorcycle ignition.
It's got the laser hallway. It's back.
Mm.
It's the staple of the franchise.
It seems like a real like off-brand version now. It's only got like 3 lasers.
That's not enough. No,
Last
but,
one had like a million lasers.
yeah, but not initially. Initially, it was just jumping 1 or 2 lasers, and then they upped
Okay.
the laser stakes.
All right.
Yeah.
Creepy girl's back.
Yeah, red hologram girl. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Wesker.
Shooting 2 guns at once. That's back.
That's back, isn't it?
Yeah.
What song do they use in it?
It's Paradise City.
That's right. And you're a big fan of Guns N' Roses, aren't you?
No.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah.
Let's do another
Okay, good.
bit of
This
news.
there is nothing compelling about this movie to me. The spell has been broken because I didn't see the last one. You can't trick me anymore, Resident Evil. Will I see this? Depends on whether or not we have a good topic that week. If we don't, I guess we're seeing it.
What did you think of the trailer for Arrival, the teaser trailer?
Very compelling.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. Yeah. Well, you said, because you watched it just before, you said 2 of the most boring people in Hollywood. You said headlining the
Look,
movie.
I don't think I said that specifically, but I said Amy Adams, Jeremy Renner, and then I said something disparaging about them. I
Yeah.
can't remember what it was. It might have been the 2 least compelling actors. I'm not sure. I like them
Yeah,
in
me too,
things. I don't know. It looks good.
I think it looks great.
Very compelling. I've spoken before on this podcast about a comic book called Trees.
Yes,
Which is sort of
it's
about
great, yeah.
this alien arrival of these big sort of monolith
Mm.
tower things that just arrive and they're just mysterious, and it's like how people's lives change around it. And I
Yeah.
think this seems to be about language and
Yes, interpretation. What does it
Oh.
mean to be a human? How do you
Oh.
get in a ship and then it turns sideways?
Oh, that is a good question. Probably
Yeah.
with a little scissor lift.
Absolutely. This
Hmm.
is one of those things where I don't. They're bringing out another trailer very soon because that was like a minute or something long.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I don't really want to know anything else going.
This seems to be we're in this sort of zone of just teaser trailers.
Yeah.
We're in this zone of teasers for teasers and
I prefer
teasers for trailers.
Give me like a minute,
Uh-huh.
and then be like, there will be not like a proper trailer down the line. Mm-hmm. It doesn't need to be 10 seconds. Later in the week, there'll be a trailer. That being said, because I love a trailer breakdown, you know that about me, Mason. I love
that's true.
ruining a movie before I see it.
right.
I like to know when it's coming out so I can kind of plan my day around it. So for someone like me, it's perfect. For everybody else, I'd imagine it's incredibly frustrating. Like you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It does.
Anyway, I love a sci-fi movie, so I'm 100% in on this
It
one.
looks pretty good. Yeah.
Well, it looks like the news.
It's based on an award-winning short story, I believe.
Oh,
Doesn't have that name. It has a different name.
Oh.
It's in the trailer. You could just
I'll look into it.
look into it.
I love a short story.
Probably won the Hugo Award.
I bet it did. Mm-hmm. Do you remember the movie Hugo?
He lived
Martin
in some
Scorsese-
sort of
yeah. He had a mechanical boy.
some
Didn't
sort of
do anything.
steampunk clockwork world.
Let me tell you something,
Is that a
Mason.
Martin Scorsese
I
film?
believe it was. Yeah, let me check.
You don't have to check. I went to the Scorsese exhibition. Hugo
And
was
it wasn't
there.
there.
No, it was there. It was there.
Everybody loves that movie and like this is amazing achievement. That movie is boring as shit. And not only that, no kid gives a fuck about that movie because it's all artistic and it looks wonderful and it's about the magic of filmmaking, but it is again, to use the word you just used, it's the least compelling thing.
Uh-huh.
Like for kids, like it's not for kids.
Is it for adults?
I don't know. Have you seen it?
I've never seen it, no. You know why? Not compelling.
Exactly.
It's the Jeremy Renner and Amy Adams of Martin Scorsese
Do you know what
films.
the robot boy, the mechanical boy does?
Hugo's.
He does that. He doesn't even
shops,
Hugo. He
down
doesn't
the
do
shops.
anything. He does nothing.
Oh.
He's not. It's just not a very good movie.
Wait, is the main character a robot boy?
No,
Or is he just a regular boy?
regular boy, but he has a little wind up. He lives in the train station.
That's in
His
the
dad-
exhibition.
Yeah,
The little robot
That's
boy.
What, yeah, so I figured. Yeah, I didn't think they had the actor in there. Let me out. I was in a not very good movie. No,
Why am I not an adult yet? That movie was years ago.
I don't know. Maybe I missed something in it, but I think it's one of those things where it's an amazing achievement in filmmaking and it looks spectacular, and it does. But I don't think it's actually for anybody.
What's it about though again?
Boy in a train station.
He's just in the train station.
Yeah, and Sacha Baron Cohen's like, get out of me train station.
Wow.
Yeah,
Couldn't the kid just move to a different part of the train station?
he does. I think
Problem solved. Is it all CGI? What's going on with that movie?
it's a lot of like pioneering 3D technology.
All right.
So
Great.
and there's a big.
Doesn't seem
clock.
very Scorsese, does it?
No, but he likes to
I
dabble.
guess he loves
yeah,
film.
exactly. He does love.
So it's for
film.
him, basically.
Yeah, it's for him.
All right, he's rich.
It's for him
That's
and me
fine.
to make fun of.
Yeah, great.
Oh no, actually, I'd be interested if you've seen it and you like it. Please let me know on Twitter at Wikipedia Brown. I'd
No,
love
that's
to know.
you, son of a... It's me.
Yes.
Yep.
At Mr. Sunday Movies. I'm genuinely interested if you've seen it or if you have seen it and whether it's actually good. Luke Cage got a new trailer.
Yes,
Did you
it
actually
did.
check that out? I forgot to say to you, whether you saw it.
No, should
It's
I
a
check
lot of
now?
meat. You can if you want. It's a lot of meat and potatoes fighting.
What does that mean?
Like he's just on the ground, just punching blokes and getting shot.
Meat and potatoes fighting.
Yeah, like standard
No, I know what you
stuff,
mean.
mate.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Standard
Yeah, no, I.
And it's got a very interesting Easter egg, which I won't spoil
Yeah.
for you.
Oh, I did see it. No,
You
you're
did
right.
see it.
I did see it. Yeah.
He's got the
He's got the
headband, the
headband,
tiara.
he's got the classic 1970s Luke Cage tiara and bracelets.
Do you think they do a good job in these movies, in these TV shows, of bringing in the classic elements without hitting you over the head with it? Like, you know, Jessica Jones, they're like, you should wear this costume or whatever, and it's a classic costume.
Yes.
Do you think it's a bit like, ugh, or do you think like, oh, what do you think?
I think that if you don't put that in, people would get mad.
Yeah.
Like if there was no reference to the costume or no reference to the tiara or what have you. And I think it's a good idea to put it in and go, this is what you wanted, and it looks ridiculous.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I don't think anybody particularly wants him to wear the headband or anything like that. But I think you need to throw it in. Just be like, it's a fun little...
Remember this?
Fun little nod.
Looks really good though.
Fun little nod.
That's going to be coming up.
I'm just going to watch it again real quick.
All right.
Sound will be off.
Okay, well, you can use your sound. I don't mind, Mason. Do you want to talk us through it?
Oh, there's Rosario Dawson. She's back.
Oh yeah, she's the link between all these movies.
That's right.
She's the Stan Lee.
Stop in a car. I hope this guy doesn't die. He's got his old guy friend,
Oh no.
but I get the sense he might.
Can't have an old guy friend in a Netflix series.
That's what I'm saying. He's escaping the little... Oh, this is an amazing trailer reaction.
I don't know how you do it. You're one
it's
of the
very
best in
pretty.
the business.
Very good. Because he looks like a lovely old man.
He does.
Means he's gonna die.
Yeah. Can you explain his powers, where they come from? He's obviously an experiment of some sort. Is he an offshoot of the Captain America program?
No, it's just like a... I don't know. It's just like
It's not like a replication. You know, they're always trying to replicate it and they always make it.
No, he's not part of that.
Okay.
So Wolverine is.
Yes.
And Deadpool,
Deadpool
is.
is, yep.
And basically everybody who's part of Weapon X. And that's about it, I think.
What part of that program do they go, look, we need another Captain America. Let's take a vicious psychopath Canadian and just fill his bones with metal.
Well, see,
that's
no-
the same, right?
No, but what they did, because they thought it would counterbalance. They went psychopath, Canadian.
Oh, yeah.
There's a happy medium, right?
Right, I hear.
But no, because what Weapon X did is the Weapon Plus program is they went, okay, we will experiment with various different people.
Oh, okay, right.
So Deadpool is when they experimented on like humans, and Wolverine is when they experimented on mutants,
On Wolverines.
etc. Yeah, on Wolverines, exactly. See, because there's a bit in here where look, he's Luke Cage is all sad. Somebody shot up the barbershop and he's all
Yeah.
sad and he's cradling somebody who's clearly dead.
Do you remember his...
I reckon it's the guy.
His bar exploded in Jessica Jones as well.
That's
remember?
true, yeah.
He had a sweet bar.
Yeah.
That was some of my favourite parts of Jessica Jones, the Luke Cage stuff.
Uh-huh.
In particular, that bar fight
Yes. Mm-hmm.
where he's just getting hit with broken bottles or whatever and getting stabbed.
But they were like, they
They
were
were
trying
going to
to
kill
murder
him.
him.
Yeah, they were going to try to kill him. Yeah.
God.
I like it, Mason.
Yeah, it looks great.
Again, I want it to go elsewhere. I want Defenders to kind of branch out a bit.
Yeah.
This whole Defenders universe, but you know,
God, I hope that old guy's only just wounded.
no, he's not. He's dead.
Oh, God damn it.
He's dead. He's a mentor. He's dead.
That's a shame.
And yet Stick like limps on, doesn't he?
He absolutely
Just being
does.
A total prick.
God, I hate that guy.
Do you like the Warriors 3, Mason?
Thor's Warriors 3, yes, I do, yeah.
They have been, well, some of them have been spotted in the Gold Coast, which means they'll probably be showing up in Thor Ragnarok, where they're filming that. And Tom Hiddleston has confirmed that Loki is back. He's on set.
Oh.
So I think those are all good
He
things.
says that, but maybe what he's saying there is just part of Taylor Swift's new video clip. You know what I mean?
He had the Loki hair.
You can't trust him. You can't trust anything he says anymore.
Too greasy?
What part of his life isn't part of Taylor Swift's new video clip? You know what I mean?
That seems like a real hassle to date Taylor Swift. I'm not saying she's not lovely. I'm sure she's a delight. But when you go into that relationship, you open yourself up to
Well, that's the perils
so
of
much.
fame, man.
It really is. We know that
Couldn't
more
date-
than anybody.
Yeah,
don't
exactly.
we?
That's right. Yeah. Oh,
Oh dear.
sometimes somebody recognises me as an indoor rock climbing venue. You know what I mean? Oh,
I hear ya.
can't deal with it.
It's good. I mean, I don't think you need maximum Loki, maximum Warriors 3, but it's nice if they're making this Thor movie that's off-world. Chuck in as many of the old characters as you can, as long as it's, it informs the story.
Yeah.
I'm all for it, and you are also
I'm all for it. I like the Warriors 3.
Did you like how they replaced the fencing dude and nobody noticed?
What? Did they?
Yeah, they in between 1 and 2. One of them's
Wait, is he still a fencing guy?
he's still a fencing guy. They
Okay,
replaced
right.
the actor.
Yeah.
Who's the dude from? He's the poor man's John Krasinski. Zachary something, I want to say. Can't remember his name. Should I look it up?
Yeah, you should look it up. So to answer your question, I didn't know they replaced the fencing guy.
Zachary Levi. That's
There
it.
we go.
Yeah,
Okay.
you know him.
Yeah, I love that
Yeah.
guy.
I wouldn't even say he's the poor man's whatever. He seems like a nice enough gentleman. Anything else on that?
I love Ray Stevenson in things.
You do love Ray Stevenson in things.
It's a shame. Like he's he's got the best Punisher look, I think.
Definitely, yeah.
Like I like the new guy. He's
Yeah, I like
great.
him too, yeah.
He's a good actor and stuff.
Yeah, he can do it.
But he doesn't look.
He's not big enough.
He's not
He's
big
not
enough.
a wall. He's not a
Yeah.
fridge.
Exactly. Needs to be a fridge.
Yeah. The Warner Brothers has confirmed because
Is this bad news or good news?
there's so much. It's up and down this week.
Okay, great.
We'll get into it.
All right.
Warner Brothers have confirmed that in the Shazam is going to be in the regular DC universe. Because remember there was talk that it wasn't gonna be, or they
Oh,
weren't
that's
really
right,
sure.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
But apparently it is. But they're taking their time to get the tone right and getting the story right. So that's The Rock is still Black Adam. There's no word on who Shazam will be or Captain Marvel. But they won't call him that.
Probably should cast that.
Yeah.
I guess.
Well, it's not till like 2019.
Yeah.
So I'm sure they got people in mind.
How do you think they're going to sell Shazam?
Well, we can talk.
Given that we've got-
we've got a Twitter question about
Given
it.
that Marvel is releasing Captain Marvel,
Yeah.
and this character is, I mean, we say Shazam, but he is technically Captain Marvel
But
as well.
even the comics now changed.
That's a shame.
Yeah.
yeah,
But
alright.
it's confusing though. I can see why they did. You got a character called Captain Marvel in DC Comics. Like I
Yeah.
get it.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah. Is Shazam a good name?
No.
In your face.
I mean, it's a good name for a wizard named Shazam.
that is true actually. Now that you say that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But in more news of The Rock.
Also, why does he wear that little cowl now? You know what I mean?
Oh, he's got the hood. It's just. I think it's just a
I
differentiating.
don't like it.
No.
No.
Billy Batson.
Who puts their hood up? You know what I mean? You're wearing a
don't
hoodie.
really.
I'm wearing a hoodie right now. You think I'd look at this. Look like an idiot.
You're too mysterious. I like
That's
it.
exactly. I look like a mysterious idiot with this hood up. It's upsetting, right?
It is
How mysterious
upsetting.
and idiotic I look.
Yeah, absolutely.
Put the hood down, Shazam.
Put it down, both of you.
Yeah. What does he think he's going to get a little bit of light rain on his head?
He might,
He's indestructible.
but he's electric.
That's actually a really good point. All right, keep the hood up, Shazam. Keep it up.
So The Rock though is apparently has been feuding with Vin Diesel on the set.
That's who
of,
it was.
Yeah, well, that's the rumor on the set of Fast and Furious. Called him a candy ass and said that
That's
some
right.
people are unprofessional and whatever, and egos clash, and
Yeah.
and I'm a giant man also.
He did say that, yeah. What do you think about that? Because he was like, first of all, I just like to say all my lady co-stars have been the best. They're
Yeah.
all the best. But I just like to say that one of my male co-stars, I hate him. Like,
What do I honestly think?
because you could be talking about anybody. You know
Yes,
what I mean?
but I think that this is fake
Oh, you think
because
it's
The
fake?
Rock is. Such,
I heard it was Scott Eastwood.
Yeah, it might be.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be.
Uh-huh.
But I mean, I don't know. But I feel if it is Vin Diesel,
Yeah.
which it's not confirmed to be, I think this would just be all a big publicity beat up because The Rock isn't the kind of guy to go on social media and just pay out somebody
That's
directly.
true, yeah.
He's a gentleman.
He is a
He's a
gentleman.
gentleman's giant. So, like, it may very well be true.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just think he's smarter than that. Unless he really hates whoever this is.
Yes. Do you think maybe it's sort of? Do you think it maybe it's it'll be revealed that he's feuding with the actor who's playing the bad guy?
Jason Statham, Helen Mirren.
Is Statham back again?
Yes, I believe
Okay.
so. Charlize Theron. Remember Evil British Family?
Oh yeah, he's Mirren in this one.
I believe she is.
For reals?
For real, yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, pretty good, eh?
Oh.
I'd like to see her fight Kurt Russell. Just a battle of the oldies, mate.
Surely that's happened already. Did that not happen in a Red
She
movie?
was doing British
Did that not happen in Red too?
Kurt Russell didn't do Red movies. Oh,
No,
maybe he
I
did do Red too, but I don't think he did. Yeah. Because she's only really kind of mainstream kind of Hollywood in the last like 5 or 8 years.
That's true.
So, yeah. Who knows, Mason? Anyway, I'm excited for whatever one this is. Are you excited for it?
Yeah.
I liked the last one.
Yeah, it was good, right?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Is this Justin Lin again?
No, it might be actually. I don't think it is because Justin Lin just did Star Trek.
That's true.
Let me find out, Mason.
He's probably good at multitasking.
Yeah, he's got some skills, that bloke. Oh, sorry, it's F. Gary Gray.
Oh, the NWA guy.
Correct.
Huh. How's that gonna go?
You know what? I don't think it. I think they're like, these are the action set pieces. This is how we do it. Do you want to do the story part of it? I think it's one of those
okay,
things,
sure,
yeah.
right, okay, right.
Yeah.
Again, I didn't see Straight Outta Compton.
Me neither.
Some people said it was great. Some people said it was not so great.
Who said it wasn't great? Who would
People on the
suggest
internet.
that?
People on the internet.
Yeah, they're usually right. Those people.
I know, right?
Let's talk more DC news, Mason. By the way, this is going to be a big DC news / Star Wars Rogue One episode. That's what we're doing this week.
Hooray!
Hooray! No topic in particular, Mason, but we'll be back.
But maybe one will emerge as if by magic.
Maybe.
Probably not.
No,
No,
I'm just gonna
probably not.
Let's just kind of muddle through it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
let's muddle through it, yeah.
good stuff. Suicide Squad. It had a stellar opening weekend.
And it's true, it did.
I think I said it was predicted to be like it would go as high as 150 US, but it hit like 135, which is like shattered August records. Beat Guardians of the
Beat Civil War, right?
Galaxy. I don't know about that.
Okay, then.
But it did shatter August records. That is for sure. And then it had a really good beginning of the week because there was public holidays in the US or whatever.
Okay, sure.
But apparently for the second week, there's a 79% drop off.
Seems like a lot.
That is a lot, yeah. Which is kind of similar to what Batman Superman did. And I think that would have a lot to do with word of mouth. And look, for the few people that I've spoken to about it, they'll be like, "Oh, did you see it?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I saw it. It has problems, but I enjoyed it for the whole." And they're like, "Yeah, I heard it wasn't very good, so I didn't see it." And I think that's probably what's hurting this movie.
Yeah.
You get the fans out first week, and everyone, they want to see a new DC movie, they want to see the Joker, and anybody who's just keen for it, because there was massive buzz around it. And then second week, if you're hearing like, you're not really going to rush out to see it.
That's
are you?
very true.
Yeah. Rotten Tomatoes has struck again, Mason. They've ruined cinema.
I say start a petition, get it banned. Get it removed from the internet.
You know what's ridiculous about that? Like that petition, it got, say, I don't know, 15, 20,000 signatures. But if that was, say, like a YouTube video or a tweet and that got 100,000 views, it wouldn't be a big deal. Do you know what I mean? Just because 15,000 idiots signed a thing.
Oh, sure.
Like, why is, like, it's not a big deal. Like, if there was a Facebook page, nobody would care. But because it's like a petition, then it's all of a sudden it's news for...
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know, I just thought that was interesting.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
Although I guess, people are just desperate for...
Content.
Yeah, they're just desperate for content and just throw something in the news cycle.
I know we are.
Yeah, boy. Oh, boy, howdy. Speaking of which, if we're talking about Suicide Squad news, not
Yeah.
suicide news.
No.
If we're talking about Suicide Squad news, do you have the guy from Reddit who wants to sue Warner Brothers? Have you got that written down?
I haven't got it written down. No, can you explain that?
Well, so there's a guy.
I saw the headline.
Yeah,
I was
so
like,
there's a guy on Reddit, and he basically said that he's going to sue Warner Brothers because he went to see Suicide. I'm no good at this.
You're bad at movies.
I know, right? He said he's going to sue because he went to see Suicide Squad. He went there pretty much, according to him, solely to see the Joker scenes that were in the trailer.
Right.
And none of them were in the movie.
Okay.
So now he's suing them.
Suing them for the $20 you spent on a ticket?
He's suing them for the money. He's also suing them for the petrol that it cost him to drive from Scotland to London. Because he's from Scotland and he drove to London.
Oh.
So, and his mistake ultimately, I feel, was putting this on Reddit.
Yes.
Because if people on Reddit are good at anything, it's being amazing weekly wackadoos on the Weekly Planet Reddit. But also, when they're not doing that, tearing people apart.
Yes.
And tearing apart people's arguments.
Correct.
And so people are like, what?
Even good arguments.
Yeah, right? But this is a bad one. So basically they're like, why didn't you just see it at a cinema in Scotland?
Yeah.
And he's like, well, I love to drive.
Well, that's on you then, isn't it?
Exactly, it's on you.
Yeah, if
right?
this is even real.
Yeah, exactly. Because
Yeah.
that's the thing. He was like, I'm getting my brother, the lawyer, to sue Warner Brothers.
Right.
And people are like, your brother's an idiot. And he's like, well, he doesn't want to do it. I'm just paying him to do it. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's probably not real. I mean, you wouldn't damage if you wouldn't take on a case that's going to damage your standing
Certainly
as a lawyer.
not.
And also, yeah, look, if this is indeed real, it sounds to me like
It's not.
yeah, it sounds to me like a guy who just took a day trip from Scotland to London
Yeah.
and then went, oh, I'll just see this movie while I'm here. And then he's like, well, this was bad. I'm going to attempt to recoup all my costs
Right.
for my day trip.
There's no way that Warner Brothers is going to give him a cent.
No,
Like, it's just
absolutely not. Yeah.
What kind of precedent does that set as well? If that guy won, how many people would then try to get money?
Yeah,
out
well,
of
it
him?
said, I mean, this is This is like that woman who sued the producer of the movie Drive because there wasn't as much driving as she expected there to be in the movie Drive.
You know what? There wasn't a hell of a lot, but there was still quite a bit.
There was enough.
I think she was expecting Fast and Furious.
Yeah, but I think that first bit of Drive in the
It's
movie
the best drive.
It was one of the best drives on film.
I agree. There's some few like stunts and shit, like
Yeah.
car rolls.
And he parks his little car in the little car park.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it?
Pretty great. Changes his hat.
He does multiple times. He has that jacket.
Yeah. Yeah, the precedent it would set would be that you cannot release a trailer until you've completed the movie.
Right,
and
yeah.
fully edit it to a final product, because otherwise anything you put in the trailer would be considered deceptive.
Yes.
And then everybody could sue you.
I can understand that though, because it is annoying when there are things in a trailer that you're looking forward to seeing and it's not in it at all.
That's
Suicide
true.
Squad did quite a bit of that, but it wasn't like Fantastic Four where there was that sequence with the thing where he drops from the plane
Yep.
and then he hits a tank and he runs through or whatever. Like they kept playing that after the movie came out.
It's true, they
Yeah.
did.
So
Yeah.
there's kind of like there's reshoots and they change the kind of flow of the movie, which is I don't think a lot of that footage after they reshot it, I don't think they put any of that existing footage in the newer trailers. I don't know that for a fact, but a lot of the stuff that's not in it is from the earlier
Feels like
trailers.
a good thing to say, so we'll say it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But look, I kind of agree with this guy's point, this insane man's fake point,
Yeah.
that this is 2 in a row where they've put out movies that have stuff in the trailer, you go in and they're like, well, if you want the full context and if you want to know why somebody's motivation changed from this scene to that scene, you're going to have to go and buy the Blu-ray in 3 months when it comes out.
That being said, Warner Brothers haven't come out and said there will be shit, they knocked my water onto my computer. Warner Brothers haven't said there's gonna be an extended cut or there's gonna be a Blu-ray with deleted scenes. They haven't said anything like that. They will do it.
Thank you.
But I'm just saying they haven't yet. So I don't think we can yet say those guys are pricks and they're fleecing us because they haven't yet done it, even though they will.
Okay, good. All right. Well, that's actually a really good point. I'm going to hold off and I'm going to make a note in my phone. And as soon as they become pricks who are fleecing us, I'm going to let everybody know.
And then you'll open that note and you won't remember what it meant
No,
or what context it was.
It just says DC bad. And I'm like, this could mean any number of things.
Let's talk DC though, because there was an open letter to Warner Brothers CEO Kevin Tsujihara from a former Warner Brothers employee.
Oh.
I'm not going to read the whole thing, Mason, because
You can't read.
correct. But I got somebody I know to give me the bullet points
Good.
that they've written here in like a kind of an Egyptian kind of style pictures and
Oh,
words.
great.
So
Okay, good.
I could kind of
First one says DC bad. It's just a DC logo. And then it's just...
and a pile of poo.
That's right.
Yeah. But look, again, I don't know whether this is true.
Hmm.
Like, it sounds pretty legit. Like, it sounds like it could be real.
Yep.
But like all these, I just think it's interesting to kind of...
Yeah. A
kind of
lot of things on the
delve
internet
into.
do sound real.
Certainly.
They have a certain verisimilitude.
Yeah, well, that's very good, Mason.
Thank
that
you.
word you made up.
No, it's real. Real word.
So these are kind of the bullet points.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so in 2014 they laid off 10% of the staff, and the reason they did that, they put out a memo, and it was to kind of craft storytelling, and they want to tell the best stories they can, and so
Right,
and that was kind of the kind of bullshit kind of reason that they, again, all grain of salt.
Yeah,
I'm just
exactly,
reporting
yeah.
a thing that somebody else wrote that may or may not be true. And also, but that was 2014 was the year they brought out like Blended and Jersey Boys. And which I was really looking forward to. I haven't actually seen it yet because I like the musical Jersey Boys. And they botched like
Boy, he really glossed over that real quick, didn't he?
what?
I was just really looking forward.
I was looking forward to
I
it.
love the music.
I'm sure I even mentioned it on this show.
Yeah, I know
but
you
was
did,
like,
yeah.
And he's talking about how they botched the Edge of Tomorrow release.
Yep.
How they were getting diminishing returns on the Hobbit movies.
Yeah,
And he cites like those examples. And it's interesting because he said that Zack Snyder was being rewarded for constant failure. Because he's producer on all these DC movies, but he's kind of produced kind of mediocre DC films. And so the people that are suffering are the assistants and the financiers.
Yes.
Finance department, and marketing and IT. And they're like, here's Justice League. Can you produce this for us? And they keep giving him all these projects.
Yeah. So it's the people. So he's making story decisions that are turning people away, like turning ticket buyers away.
Yeah.
But the people who are suffering are people who have no control over the story.
Right, exactly.
No control over that sort of thing. They're just drones essentially who
Exactly.
are getting fired.
They're just faceless morons.
That's
Mason.
right. Good riddance, I say. No.
But also, it mentions how like the way that they announce their properties. And I remember when they did this a few years ago, like Marvel announced their slate, and they had a Marvel specific fan event. They got a whole lot of press down. You know, Kevin Feige came out and they're like, "We're doing Black Panther, we're doing Civil War, we're doing this and
Everybody had little hats.
Everyone had little
on.
hats, and it was kind of big news. And then Warner Brothers had a shareholders meeting and went,
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
these are our movies.
Yeah, it was a shareholders meeting and a
Yeah.
PowerPoint presentation.
That's
and
right.
like a conference call.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's nothing essentially wrong with that. Mm-hmm. But if you do want to kind of build hype, maybe that's not the best way to kind of kind of go about it. And he talked about the other thing was he took a shot at the Wonder Woman movie.
That's right.
And he said, and this is to Kevin Sugihara personally. I'll read this one verbatim.
I know you're listening, Kevin Sugihara. Here it comes. I know you tried to bloody cover your eyes and block your ears, but I know you listen to this, so here we go.
You couldn't bear to miss a second of this show.
That's right.
So amazing. What are you even doing? I wish to God you were forced to live out of your car until you made the #1 movie of the year. Maybe Wonder Woman wouldn't be such a mess. Don't try and hide it behind the great trailer. People inside are already confirming it's another mess. It's almost impressive how you keep rewarding the same producers and executives for making the same mistakes over and over. If I worked at a donut stand and I kept fucking up the donuts, I'd be fired. Even if I made a tiny decent one every now and then, it doesn't matter. I'm going to get fired.
Yeah.
Which is true.
So Kevin Sugihara, stop sticking your dick in the donuts, all right, mate? Stop it.
Again, I can't speak to the validity of this,
No,
but
that's
I feel
right.
like there is truth in this, at least from an outsider's perspective of why do they keep making a lot of these same mistakes or making reactionary changes to movies and to the detriment of the overall kind of storytelling.
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah. How do you see this?
Well, see, that's the thing, because people who work for DC Warner Brothers have since come out and said, look, I've seen Wonder Woman, it's not a mess, etc.,
Yes.
etc. So this could be... That's the point where I'm like, well, maybe this is just a
That's
guy
right.
inventing things.
Exactly.
But at the same time, if you're working for Warner Brothers and you're making Wonder Woman, you don't want to be like, yeah, he's right, it is a mess,
Yeah.
actually.
Exactly. And the thing is, you can have insiders within a studio and they've both seen a film, two of them say, because there's two, because I said both.
Yeah.
And one thinks it's garbage and one thinks it's amazing. Like, obviously, that's perspective, you know what I mean, on
Yeah.
how you personally think it's going to go. But Patty Jenkins, who's directing the Wonder Woman movie, I think it's wrapped, actually. She released a few tweets about it. I don't know if you saw these. She said, just saw this press about Wonder Woman having problems. Are they serious? This is a made-up BS right here. Made up, producer source. Anybody? It isn't until you intimately get involved in these things that you realize how totally false these rumors can be. Let me reassure you.
I've stuck my dick in those donuts and they're great.
Zero about the movie we are making has been called a mess by anyone I know. Fact. Real lasso of truth time will reveal the letter to be false soon enough. But lame something so transparent in its agenda to get traction. So, I mean, obviously, like you said, she's not going to come out and go, yeah, that's pretty garbage. And look, and I hope it's going really well. That trailer was really good, but even if it's as good as Suicide Squad, I'll be disappointed.
Yeah, right.
Because even though, like I said before, I didn't hate it, but they really need to just knock one out of the park,
right.
and they haven't really yet. You know, so
I know.
yeah. And even though they're still making money, you know what I mean? And like, even if Suicide Squad drops right off, it'll make its money back. Maybe it won't hit $1 billion, which is what I initially thought it would.
Do we see? That's the thing. Like, oftentimes people will be, you know, they say, okay, well, the movie cost $150 million to make,
Sure.
and then $150 million to market. They say, you know, just double it for the marketing.
Yeah.
I reckon they've spent a lot on this, like marketing.
Yes.
I reckon it's more than. I reckon they've more than doubled the cost.
You said there was a lot of pictures,
There's
didn't you?
been so many billboards.
Yeah, absolutely. It's everywhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
There's a little sticker pack on Facebook.
that's true.
You get a little dead shot and he's saying, seriously? Question mark?
Is that his thing? Is
Yeah,
that
he's
his thing?
like,
Is it?
seriously? You know, like in the movie.
I don't remember that.
You know, when he tilts his head, he's like, seriously?
I don't remember that.
No, I don't think it's real.
But there was rumors that the budget on this blew out to $250 million, which is, for a movie that didn't, I mean, there are special effects in it, but it's a lot of kind of on-set, on-the-street locations. I don't know how that movie is made. Was cost $250 million. Like, it looks like
It's probably that Rick Ross video clip.
it might be. Yeah.
They're on a boat. They're just standing on a boat. They have to put bloody Jared Leto back in his Joker
They
outfit.
did.
Uh-huh.
Skrillex?
Skrillex is in it.
Yeah.
Skrillex probably demanded like a bowl of fruit, but the fruit was all made of gold.
Do you think Skrillex has ever been confused for Corey Feldman?
Yes. Yes, I was just about to say that. If you weren't going to say that, whatever you were going to say then, do you think Skrillex is a good musician? I'd be like, I don't care. Do you think he looks like Corey Feldman? That's where I was going to go.
I do think that, yes.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Are people pointing that out? I hope so. Because I haven't spoken to anybody about it.
It's because he's taken the glasses off.
There's the glasses off, is it? But he looks like...
And he unshaved that one side of his head.
Okay, yeah. And that's what Corey...
It's Corey Feldman, right? Not Corey Haim?
No, Corey Haim's dead.
Yeah, but he could still look like somebody.
You can't look like someone once they're dead, Mason. That's the rule. It's
Okay,
it's
right.
an industry rule. I don't know if you know that.
That's very true.
Yeah. Interesting. Anyway, I don't know really what to make of any of this. You can't know until a movie's out, obviously. But I do think there is some flailing about at Warner Brothers. I just did a video. It'll be out by now. Where I talk about all the stuff, all the behind-the-scenes stuff leading up to Suicide Squad being released,
cool.
and then the deleted scenes.
Sounds fascinating.
Yeah, a lot of it's based on like it's speculation and reports, but it's also kind of like, well, this actor said this specifically. Like Jared Leto said that I did this, this, and this, and they removed it.
Okay.
So I don't think, even though David
I stuck my dick in so many donuts.
to the detriment of this film.
Yeah.
But I don't think...
Well, my assistant did. I didn't do anything.
You know what I think the problem with the Joker in that movie is and why they were able to cut him out?
Yeah.
I don't think they had any definitive set pieces with him other than the flashback stuff.
Yeah.
Because you remember, if you look at... And I think I'm going to do a video on this, but if you look at, say, the Heath Ledger's Joker or Jack Nicholson's Joker, he comes into a scene and it's his scene.
Yep.
It's like the pencil scene where he's intimidating the mob.
Yep.
That is a Joker
Or
moment.
the scene where he comes into the Flugelheim Museum and he puts on the Prince music on his boombox.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Even though it's ridiculous, but they are specific Joker moments. And the Joker moments in the new movie, they kind of erratically cut them.
Yeah.
So they kind of jump back and forth and the lighting switches and
And no scene... He's not in a scene with any of the other major characters except for Harley.
That's right.
I was expecting a Joker versus Deadshot scene or something
me
like that.
too.
Like they just cross paths in the like one action sequence and that's it.
And I think that is the problem with that Joker. I think Christopher Nolan going into The Dark Knight went, right, he's the driving force behind this movie. He's going to have this scene, this scene, this scene, this scene. Because Christopher Nolan's movies are like an intricate puzzle. And if you pull out a particular piece, it all falls down.
Sometimes you don't have to pull out a piece and it falls down.
Sure. But I think they just threw a whole lot of shit at the wall. Just like, just be weird and crazy. And then went, you know what? We can't really use a lot of this. Even though it's good, I guess, and it's Joker-esque.
Yeah.
How does it drive the story forward, other than, say, the flashback stuff? Or
A lot of
whatever?
people are saying, "Oh, this is the worst portrayal of the Joker ever." I don't think it is.
No.
I just don't think we've had enough.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah.
You know what I think would have worked? I was going to say this last week, but what I feel would have worked is actually because Deadshot and Harley get the most screen time.
Yeah.
I would have liked a kind of a Deadshot and Harley road movie.
Yeah.
Like kind of imagine like because the rest of the squad are barely in this movie. I reckon it would have been good to maybe you put them in Midway City.
Yeah.
You have the Joker and Harley in Midway City. There is some sort of cataclysm. They get split up.
Yeah.
And then the Joker's like, Deadshot, I will pay you to ferry her from one side of Midway City to the
Right,
other side.
that's cool.
And
Yeah.
then there's the Enchantress is blowing things up and Batman's somewhere else saving
Yeah.
the world. But in the meantime, they have to kind of make their way across the
I like
city.
that a lot.
Thank you.
You're the real Christopher Nolan of this podcast.
Sometimes things fall apart. I don't do anything.
Anyway, best of luck to you, Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
We want you to make some...
You'll make a great one eventually.
I think so.
You better.
Aquaman is
I
apparently
know where you live, Warner Brothers.
near that water tower.
Hollywood. You live in the bloody water tower the Animaniacs were put into. I know that's where you live, Kevin Sujihara.
So Aquaman...
You're put in there for being too insane.
But
They were in there for decades,
they
the
were.
Animaniacs.
But to Kevin Sujihara's credit, he inherited this company a couple years ago. Like a lot of the problems kind of would stem from the change in management and kind of setting a new tone or whatever. Like whenever there's a shift in management, there is that adjustment period, and the result happens to be whatever is going on.
And I guess if you're dealing with billions of dollars,
Yeah.
that adjustment period takes a long time to settle in.
That's right. Mm-hmm. Aquaman is going to fight Black Manta though in his movie.
Oh, great.
That's cool, right?
Yeah.
I don't.
With that weird periscopy head.
I really like it. I know it's weird and dumb. I really like it though.
Yeah, all right.
Someone tweeted, I can't remember who, asked like, do you think he's going to like take his hand off, Aquaman's hand off?
Nah, too early.
Too early? Mm-hmm. Down the line, maybe?
Well, I mean, I say that, but Batman Superman did put Death of Superman and some sort of weird apocalypse world and everything, and Dark Knight Returns into the first movie.
That's true.
Into their first meeting. So who knows? Maybe they'll take both his hands off.
For good measure.
Yeah.
Yeah. But remembering we're getting him in Justice League.
Yep.
So maybe if he's established enough from that, then you can do the hand. Do you want water hand? I know I do.
No, I want Weird Starlab Trident hand that can shoot a grappling hook. I like that one.
Okay. Okay, one of each. How about that?
Yeah, there we go.
Middle ground.
Split the difference. This podcast's all about compromise.
It is.
Yeah.
Jason Momoa is also in talks for the Crow remake. It seems like it's pretty much a done deal. This is one of those things where I was like, who are they going to cast in this? Like, they talk about Luke Evans, and he's fine, but can he kind of carry a franchise? They talked about Bradley Cooper at one point, and that's way off.
Too pretty.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, but I think...
Imagine Bradley... I'm sure we talked about this, but imagine Bradley Cooper in weird goth makeup.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
That's right. So, I like the... If
like a character from Friends wearing goth, going to a Halloween party or something like that.
I like that casting, though. I think it's
Yeah.
You got to kind of... We talked about... I've even done a video on it where you mentioned that would people laugh if it's too goth, basically.
Right, yeah, that's true.
Yeah. But now he's the Crow now.
Yes.
I'll throw that in there. That's a callback. Isn't it, Mason?
Yes, it is.
No, I'm all for that. One last bit of DC news. Ezra Miller says there's a chance, and he hinted at the Flash crossing over with the Flash. As in
the TV Flash.
And maybe that'll be like he's running through the kind of Speed Force and you kind of see him in passing or whatever. But initially, like years ago, when there was talk of this or, people were speculating, I'm like, nah, they'll never do it. But it seems as the TV stuff is doing better in a lot of ways, critically at least, than the movies. Maybe it is something that they'll lean on. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I think and also because we've seen previously in The Flash, we've seen him, he's running through the Speed Force and he's seen the John Wesley Shipp version.
Yeah.
The Dawson's Dad original version of The Flash. And all sorts of, other weird... And, he's crossed over with Supergirl, and we've seen... When he goes to the Speed Force, sometimes we do see weird continuity things. Yeah. So I wouldn't put it past him.
Absolutely.
And, a little extra boost to the...
I think so.
You just throw in Ezra Miller, and then he's like, ooh, and then... I'd like to watch him on the big screen, Grant Gustin could say.
Like a ringing endorsement.
Yeah.
Love it. I think you do risk complicating it.
Yeah.
So I think it's got to be kind of like... You either put it in properly and you make that the movie, or you do it in fleeting where if you didn't even know it, it's gone and you don't have to think about it.
Yeah, and also I guess the question would be, if there's another good Flash in the universe, why don't they team up?
Yeah.
Like you need a compelling reason for them not to team up.
Why is one of their suits dumb and the other one not as dumb?
Correct.
People have differing opinions on which is which.
Yeah, yes they do.
Yeah. I really like the movie version of the suit though. Seeing it in Suicide Squad, I was like, that looks spectacular.
Does look really good, yeah.
I really liked it. What else we got, Mason? Oh, this is bad news.
Oh.
Men in Black 23 probably won't get made, says Jonah Hill.
So that's 21. That's 23 Jump Street. Men in Black crossover.
Yes.
That's a shame.
Yeah.
Who said this? Was it Jonah Hill?
Jonah Hill, yeah. He's promoting War Dogs with
Yes, he is, yeah.
What's his name? That other bloke?
The Odometer, Miles Teller.
Yes. Apparently two of the biggest arseholes in Hollywood. Right. That's what they say.
I don't know if that's... I feel that there was like a GQ article about Miles Teller.
It's not just that, though.
Oh, okay,
just
right.
other stuff that...
I reckon he's... I get the sense that he's not.
Yeah?
I get the sense he's just a regular guy, and they're like, we need to give him an edge, so let's say he's an asshole.
He's so bland. He looks like a man made of Play-Doh who's been punched. What can we do with this?
Yes. Let's say he's mean to waiters or something. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Jonah Hill's blown up for War Dogs.
He
Do you
has.
think that's...
Well, apparently they say a lot of the time when a person loses a lot of weight, then it's often they'll end up gaining it back.
Yeah, because they've got like an equilibrium weight,
Yeah.
and it happens to be quite big. But he looks bigger than ever.
He does look bigger than ever, so I don't know. I don't know what that's about. Yeah.
Do you think he's like, oh, this is torture, I have to gain back all this weight? Or do you think and I feel bad? Or do you think he's like, yeah.
Who's to say? Who's to say?
What's the guy from Eastbound and Down? What's his name again?
Kenny Powers.
No, the actor's name.
Oh, God. Yeah,
anyway, the guy who plays Kenny
yeah.
Powers, he always says that he's funnier when he's fat.
Yes,
like
and people like him more when he's fat.
People like him more when he's fat, and he's like, people run into him on the off season. He's quite trim and he looks great.
Yes,
and they're like, "What are you going to be up to later?"
Danny McBride,
and he's just like, "Well, I got to, this movie's coming out, so I have to go and get really fat because I'm funnier that way." So
That can't be good for you.
No, it
he's
can't
not.
be good.
But he's not even really fat.
Yeah.
Like, he looks like a regular-ish person.
That's true,
But
yeah.
he's Hollywood fat. We've talked about it before.
Yeah, which is totally normal to even quite fit.
Yes, that's right.
Hollywood fat.
Yeah.
Like that's
Jason Segel, for
Yeah.
example, who's quite
Ja-
trim.
Yeah, Jason
but
Segel.
I guess
I
he's-
always think of Zach Braff in Scrubs.
Right,
Like,
yeah.
because when he was in Scrubs, like, he'd take his shirt off and he'd have, like, abs and, like, biceps and whatever and pecs. And the joke would be, haha, look at this
his
skinny
weed,
idiot. Look
yeah.
at this weakling. Ha ha ha.
But he
No,
was a weakling.
Yeah, that's
And he
true.
slapped that kid when he scratched his car or whatever. Do you remember? On Cribs?
Oh,
Or
yeah, I do
Cribs,
remember that, yeah.
MTV or whatever.
Yeah,
I don't know. Who cares?
What are we talking about? I've lost...
Slap all the kids you want, mate.
Yep.
MIB 23.
That's right,
I know
it's
a
off
lot of
the
people
table.
thought it was a dumb idea, but I think those movies are pretty funny.
Yeah.
And I like that they're kind of would be jumping to different universes. Because then maybe you could give them a Ghostbusters movie. They're just franchise hopping. We talked
Yeah,
about it before.
We did, yeah. So, is there any specific reasons why it's not happening? Just
I no, it just is
too complicated?
I guess so, yeah.
Do you think that's the end of the Jump Street universe?
Potentially, yeah. Well, I know Lord and Miller who
Yep.
did that. They're moving on to other stuff.
Okay.
So,
We got two good ones.
yeah, that's right. That's good enough for us. That guy got his dick shot off.
It's so true, yeah.
That's a win in my book.
Yeah.
Ghostbusters news, Mason.
Here we go.
They say that the latest Ghostbusters will lose about 70 million for Sony.
Okay.
So they're probably not going to make another one, even though Sony are like, no, we're really happy with it. But you know what? It was pretty average. It's probably for the best.
Look, I had good fun with it. Again, like I said, I would much rather see all those 4 cast members being put into other male franchise like classics.
To the chagrin of the internet.
That's right. Just to see what they can do with them. I think it'd be great.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm not surprised. I think that whole thing was handled poorly by everybody.
Yeah.
And
I was speaking.
I'm glad it's gone.
What do you think about Ocean's 8?
Good. Wait. Is it a continuation?
I don't think it is.
I think it should be. Set in the same universe.
Yep.
But I like the
Well,
cast.
I say I don't think so. I don't know.
Yeah, I like the cast. I like Sandra Bullock a lot. She's kind of like the female George Clooney. Because they're in that movie together.
That's true.
Space
Jam.
Terror. Yeah,
Space
Space
Jam.
Jam.
They were in Space Jam together. They voiced 2 of the really big aliens.
No, one of them was Michael Jordan. I can't remember which one.
Right.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm not even big on that franchise. So I don't, I love the first one.
I love the
Second
first one
one's
also.
shit. Third
I love
one's
the first one. I saw it like 2 or 3 times in the cinema, and then when Ocean's 12 came out, I gathered every friend I knew.
I was there.
And I was like, let's all watch Ocean's 12 together. And then I left and I'm like, I'm so sorry. And I feel a lot of those friends went away and never came back.
That's true.
Yeah. And then Ocean's 13.
Not me though, Mason.
You're
Loyal.
still here. Thank
This
you.
dog's loyal, mate. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
and then
Ocean's 8?
Ocean's 3 is marginally better. So, but I mean, if it's Ocean's 8, shouldn't it be a prequel?
Not necessarily.
All right. Because 12 and 13 were sequels.
But then you're packing it with so many people. Then you've got 14 people.
That's true.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying shouldn't. I'm not saying it should be
you're
Ocean's
saying
14.
just make it
I'm saying make it
So
a
you
prequel.
want it set in like the mid-90s or whatever.
Yeah.
But then if you're going to bring back Clooney or whatever, I think if it's a continuation, surely you'd get Clooney to cameo or whatever.
That's true. Or
Yeah.
Julia Roberts.
Oh, Julia Roberts, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, look, I'm
Or
interested.
Bernie Mac.
Or Scott Kahn.
Oh.
'Cause he sucks. 'Cause he sucks, Mason. He's
No,
fine.
I got it. It's pretty good.
He's all right.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, whatever. I don't care. It'll be good or bad. I'd rather it be a sequel than like we're rebooting the universe.
Do you think it's going to be Ocean's 8? Do you think they're like the premise of some of the trailers is going to be like, there's only 8 of them because they can multitask. We're going to multitask. I
hope
think
so,
it will be.
Mason.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Uh-huh.
Good stuff. This is interesting. Donald Glover.
I'll be the judge of that.
Okay, get ready.
Okay.
Donald Glover
It is interesting. Continue.
is apparently Disney's first choice to play Lando Calrissian in the Han Solo spin-off Solo movie.
Oh, we gotta find a better name for that.
That's the name.
Oh, then we've nailed it.
It's
That's
probably
great.
well, they don't actually have it. It doesn't have a name. It's just called the Han Solo spin-off. But I'm sure it's going to be called Han Solo: A Star Wars Story. How this Rogue One's called Rogue One, a Bladity Bloob, whatever. What do you think of Donald Glover in the role of Billy D. Williams's Lando Calrissian in Star Wars Han Solo spin-off Solo movie starring Han Solo?
I love it. Or do I? Let me think.
I think that guy is a chameleon. I know
Yeah.
he's very funny,
Uh-huh.
and he's a very good rapper, and he's good in more serious roles. I think he could easily.
Is he a
do
very
this.
good rapper?
From what I've heard. I don't
Okay.
know much about. Well, look, as you know, I'm a rap aficionado.
That's true, you
I had
are.
a lot of compliments on my rap. You know what? If people don't know, I did the worst rap of all time.
The Mark
last
Ruffalo
week.
rap.
The Mark Ruffalo rap. And when I was going through it, I nearly edited it out because it's intentionally terrible, but it's so terrible. And I know that in my heart, if I really tried, it would be about that good. So I nearly removed it.
Right, yeah.
On that alone. But I did it.
So you're saying Donald Glover's a chameleon.
Yes.
What's he done dramatically?
Magic Mike 2.
No.
The Martian.
I'm not saying he's not good. I'm just saying I don't
He
think we've
just
seen
jumps from project to project as
Yeah.
well. Like, because he kind of left... He left the writer's room of 30 Rock.
Yeah.
And then didn't get Community. And then he got Community and he
Yep.
rap career and he's acting and he's...
Mystery Team is
Mystery
great. If you
Team's
haven't seen
great.
Mystery Team.
He's a great stand-up that he doesn't... Like, I think he's just one of those guys who just throws himself into whatever he does. And I think he could absolutely nail this.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Good.
What are your objections?
No, you've convinced me. There we go.
Okay, good.
Well, I'm not saying he's not good. I'm just saying that we haven't seen him in a properly... Because you need a certain... Like Lando's kind of a...
Lando's really something, man. Like,
yeah,
he
right.
really is.
Yeah, you need a certain. He has to be dramatic, but he also has to be kind of cavalier.
Yes.
Kind of. You need.
He's
You
got to
need
be a sexy ladies' man.
You need a certain something.
He's got to have a
right.
dark heart because he betrayed Han Solo.
You know he's
prick.
going to. Yeah, that's right.
Son
yeah,
of a bitch. We're going to see him probably Han Solo win the Millennium Falcon from him.
that's true.
In
He's
a
got to.
Sabak
He's got to have.
tournament.
He's got to have a look of chagrin.
Yes, that's
as
right.
you mentioned earlier about losing that Millennium Falcon. He's got to have that certain look.
He's gotta
Do you think
have
it'd
it.
be like, do
I want that.
Han Solo, do?
But some other names that were thrown up. People said Michael B. Jordan.
Oh yeah.
I think that'd work. Anthony Mackie.
Oh.
Maybe not as much.
Yeah.
People say he's too old because he's 37, but I think Billy D. Williams was 42 when he did. So he's a little bit older than Harrison Ford. Mm-hmm. So I don't really think it would necessarily matter, but I think Donald Glover, Michael B. Jordan would be the way to go. There was rumors that Michael B. Jordan was going to be Boba Fett in the Boba Fett spin-off movie that what's his name was doing. The guy who tranked it. He went right off Trank.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh, somebody suggested.
For our Josh Trank, is he back?
Is he
segment?
back? You came up with back on Trank.
Yes.
Back on
Well,
Trank.
we workshopped it a little
We
bit.
workshopped a little. We came up back on Trank. Somebody mentioned I screenshot it, but I can't remember who it is offhand. Coming attractions. But when we talk about when we find out what Josh Trank is up to since he scorched his career,
Yes.
and now he's slowly edging back.
I don't think he's...
Well, he's co-writing on something.
Who would hire him?
Yeah,
Would you
that's
hire?
true.
Would you hire him?
No.
If you were Kevin Sujihara, you're head at Warner Brothers, you're kicking goals, you can't stop winning. Would you
That's
hire
right.
a risk maker,
Maybe
risk taker?
is he good with like a rope down the side of like a water tower? Because maybe you want to escape that water tower.
Sure.
So maybe you need somebody who can help you
I'm
with
not
that.
familiar with his rope skills. Well, I couldn't tell you, to be honest.
No, that's true.
Yeah, but Lando, what do you think?
All right, I'm willing to give this a whirl.
I'm surprised that people are surprised that they're casting it.
Uh-huh.
Like, of course.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Of course they're going to bloody cast it.
Yeah. What about Daniel Day-Lewis?
He could do it, couldn't he?
That's
Wait, is he cobbling at the moment? I never know.
No, look, he's often cobbling. I don't think he's cobbling currently.
How long did he quit for? He quit for like 10 years to cobble shoes.
Something like that, yeah.
God, he's all about the craft, isn't he?
I bet those shoes are no good.
You should tell him if you ever
I'm
meet
going
him.
to tell him. All right, I'll be like, I bet your shoes are no good. D-Day Lou, get out of here, mate. Wouldn't put me bloody dogs in those shoes. You know what I mean?
Mason,
Yes, hello.
we have to talk about Star Wars Rogue One, a Star Wars story solo movie.
Oh, boo.
Oh, no.
No, I mean, yay.
You're into it.
Yep. Tricked you.
The trailer finally arrived after 2 trailers for the trailer during the week, 2
Yeah.
10-second clips.
How'd they go for you? Were you enjoying those?
I usually don't watch them, but for Star Wars, I'm like, well, I'll Star Wars this. But I don't condone it, Mason. But like I said, it helps me out because then I can plan my bloody day around it or whatever. I did my trailer breakdown, Mason, so I'm just going to sit back. What do you think?
Forrest Whitaker's in it.
Well,
isn't
I'm
he?
not saying anything. You just have to talk
Oh, okay.
because I did mine already.
No, I see. Forrest Whitaker. Different hair.
May I interject?
He's changed his hair.
Yeah, yes, James, you said.
Double dose of Forrest Whitaker this week because he's also on the trailer for The Arrival.
Yeah, I used to.
That's something you missed.
I guess I did.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. Now, can we have a civil discussion about this, please?
So There has been a lot of, as there was for Suicide Squad and as there is for a lot of movies these days, there's been a lot of talk of the reshoots for Rogue One.
Oh, I did not know about that.
Obviously, that's kind of an indication that there's been a lot of stuff redone because
It's Forrest Whitaker's hair.
Yeah, because he's got that's the tell in every movie. It's the bloody hair. So I can't imagine though that we're going to get two variations on Forrest Whitaker's hair. I think they probably just reshot everything.
Oh, okay.
For him, his part. I mean.
Okay, right.
Yeah. So, what do you think? Which hair did you prefer?
I like the newer hair.
You like the crazy man hair?
Yeah, I like crazy
me
man
too.
hair.
I like
Yeah,
it too.
yeah. Old one could be anybody. This is a crazy guy. He's seen some stuff.
He certainly has.
He's seen some dicks and donuts.
For the better or worse? To his detriment?
To his detriment, yeah.
It seems that way, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Do you think though because there's talk that some other filmmakers have got involved to kind of fix what Gareth Edwards has kind of put together?
Okay.
Do you think that
What is this trend of reshoots all the time?
reshoots
going on?
reshoots do happen? It's
I know, but
not
it seems
uncommon.
to be really.
I think it's.
What, are we just hearing about them?
I think
more?
we're hearing about them more. Yeah.
Okay.
I think. I remember World War Z.
Yes.
Like that got reshot to shit. But I think that worked out pretty well. I kind of like the movie. It's pretty fun.
It was a bit bloodless.
Yeah, except for the there's a version of it. There's a
right.
narrator cut. But it's mostly like CGI blood.
Okay, right. But I mean, is it just more people talking about this sort of stuff, or is it more people panicking?
I think it's a bit of both, and I think if you talk about reshoots on your website or whatever, I think it gets them clicks, mate.
Oh,
so I think that's
very
probably part of it as well. Did you like the teaser trailer? The trailer in general, though, Mason. We've had a teaser trailer. This is the trailer, the story trailer.
Yes.
What did you think?
Looks good.
Yeah.
I mean, we've gotten a little bit more elaboration on the story.
Yes.
We know that she's like, get these handcuffs off me, or whatever.
I'll slap you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. We've got poor man's Poe Dameron. He's looking great.
What's his name? Cassian Andor.
There we go.
That's his name.
All right. Very good. We've got some Death Star shots we saw in the previous trailer.
I like how
Pretty
they've done some different stuff with the Death Star, and by that I mean it's upside down in that one shot. I know people are saying like, "How's it weird? It's upside down," or some people are like, "If it's like a moon or a planet, like Australia looks like it's on the bottom of the world, but it's space, so it's like
Could be on any side.
it's any side, mate."
We're top of the world, in my opinion.
I don't think so, but anyway.
Wow. Wow. Okay, we're getting some rebel pilots in chains. They're walking through the.
Yes, the city streets.
It
of
looks
Jeddah.
like somebody's assembling some kind of suicide squad.
What is this?
Some kind of suicide squad. Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah. You know it. It's catching on. They're not cheap, those Facebook stickers.
If they're anything other than free, that's ridiculous.
They're free.
Okay, good.
Yeah. They're assembling the team. We get to see more of the team.
You like assembling a team?
I like We've got our blind stickman.
Yeah.
Blindo stickman.
It's bloody taking out. We saw that in last trailer as well. Taking out bloody stormtroopers left and right.
We get Mr. Guns.
Yeah.
Now, which of them revealed the plot
Mr.
point?
Guns.
Mr.
John
Guns did.
Wen,
Okay,
yeah.
right. Okay.
He said,
let's not say it now.
No, well, let's not talk about it at all.
Yeah,
like we covered it in the Star Wars Celebration
Yes, we did,
episode.
yeah.
If you want to go on into that, well, you can. Yeah.
Man, it looks great. We got the tank troopers. Oh,
Got the Death Troopers.
Yeah.
It's not Death Troopers. What are they called? There's the black Stormtroopers that are like the elite.
we get a little bit of we get our first little taste of Alan Tudyk.
Yeah.
Old Tudyk. He's seen his way around
Seen
some
some
donuts.
donuts,
Tell you what.
2 at a time, mate.
Yeah. Oh. Yep. So we get a bit of that. He's just a. I don't know. I'm enjoying. I don't know. It's a new type of droid we haven't seen before.
Yes. Well, he's a former Imperial droid who was reprogrammed by Cassian Andor.
Not well, it seems.
Not well, yeah. And he's just kind of got no filter. But because he's free, but he has like a loyalty to him. It's kind of like the same way that Chewbacca has like a loyalty to Han Solo.
Do you think he's going to be a fighter? He's big.
I think so. Well, he's a security droid.
Okay,
Essentially,
sure.
or an enforcer droid, yeah.
Yeah.
And apparently he's going to come across other enforcer droids.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're going to see a bit of that.
All right. We get some sort of eclipse happening.
That's the Death Star, man. Isn't that cool? That's what I'm talking about. They're doing like interesting stuff with the Death Star.
Yeah. And then we get Mendo.
He's back, isn't he?
Mendo's back. Ben Mendelsohn. As a guy who may or may not be some sort of
Space Australian.
human replica droid.
Oh, that's right. You had
That's
that dumb theory.
That's
didn't
my
you?
dumb theory. Yeah. Yeah.
I forgot about your dumb theory.
How does he keep his uniform so neat? That's what I'm saying.
He has a droid to do it for him.
Oh.
It's just a mouser droid. You know those little boxes on the floor, and he lies on the floor and then just runs back and forth over it.
Oh, like a vacuum cleaner of
Like a
sorts.
vacuum cleaner.
Okay, all right. Well, that's fine. All right, good. Well, I've had this has been some amazing commentary so far, I think, from this trailer. What do you got?
Mason, I've got so many things.
All right.
We can talk about the planet Jedha,
Okay.
which is apparently like this.
Which is the tropical planet.
No, that's Scarif.
Okay.
Jedha's like the rocky kind of world, and it's got like the Jerusalem for like Jedi. Like it's like a pilgrimage. And I guess this is kind of a spoiler.
Secret pilgrimage?
Maybe it was, but it's now under Imperial occupation.
Okay.
And like the reason behind it, I believe, because they've kind of a few of the actors have revealed it, that it's a mine or source for the kyber crystals,
Okay.
which it was in old continuity, but they've reintroduced it. They're like a key component of a lightsaber.
Right.
But they also power the Death Star.
Oh, twist.
Yeah, so the kind of does it serves two purposes.
You know what that means?
What's that?
Giant lightsaber in the Death Star. This is the it turned out R2-D2 could fly the whole time of this movie. There'll be a giant lightsaber in the Death Star, and then it'll never be referenced again.
Absolutely. Yeah. Do you want to see it like the Death Star turn into like what's that giant robot planet?
Unicron.
Unicron and
Yeah.
fight with a
Well,
lightsaber.
there was some Star Wars Transformers crossover toys.
There was.
And it was a Death Star that turned into Darth Vader.
Wasn't
so
it
maybe
a TIE
that could
fighter
happen.
turn? Oh, maybe they did both, Mason.
I think they might have done
I
both.
bet they did. Marketing's good, isn't it?
Boy, is it synergy.
Cross-pollination.
Brand awareness. Sorry, you were saying kyber crystals.
Kyber crystals. So I think this place was a site of like a Jedi temple or a mine or whatever. And if you watch Star Wars Rebels, Mason, which I know you do.
I don't.
I know you don't.
Correct.
You're not a fan. You hate it. You think it's shit. It's actually quite good.
All right.
But there's some kyber crystal stuff in that where they intercept a ship that has one, like a
Okay.
big one, and also from the Clone Wars series, which is still canon. A whole episode of that, there's like a motorcycle-sized kyber crystal which they're trying to retrieve from the Separatists because they're gonna.
It's an interesting size comparison you've gone with there.
Well, like, I was gonna say
Motorcycle
car, but
size.
it wasn't as big as a car. So I
Okay.
went, what's not as big as a car?
A camel.
A smaller car.
Okay.
Camel. I should have said camel.
Should have said camel.
Yeah, you're right.
Wampa.
Wampa.
Should have said wampa.
Yeah, they're about 2 meters, aren't they?
Yeah.
No, I'm thinking of the other one.
Yes.
Anyway, the point is they've kind of been building towards this in the canon for a while, and I think that's interesting.
By design or accidentally?
I think it's totally by design. They've got a story group,
Okay.
and it's a handful of people, or it's a few people. It's more than a handful, Mason. Let's say there's many people.
A
as-
camel's
getting-
worth. Say a camel's worth.
A camel's worth of people. Yeah, that kind of they flesh all this out. So yeah, I find that really interesting. So I think the story is going to revolve around stopping the kyber crystal situation, and then if that fails, or an additional part of the plan is get the Death Star plans to someone who can use them.
Sure.
So I think it's two-pronged, Mason, like a prong with two.
I like a double prong kind of situation, right?
Exactly.
Like a real Alan Tudyk.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Did you like the bit where the guy shot the AT-ACT with the rocket launcher?
The missile I did looked
Yeah,
great.
pretty good,
I don't
eh?
think he's taken it out, but he's
He's knocked it about.
he's knocked it about.
That would
He's
rattle
frazzled
you.
it.
If you're in that, like
be a little bit
you're in
rattled.
the head, yeah.
There'd be at least 30 seconds of going, ah! just tapping everything, making sure all your bits are there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But do you feel like, even though it does harken back, Mason, in many ways
Ooh.
to the Star Wars of old, the camera angles and the way this is shot and the sense of scale is not like we've really seen in a Star Wars
I
movie.
agree, that's true.
It's just, and I think we talked about it's in the last time we talked about it. Gareth Edwards seems to do scale really well.
Yeah,
Like, because he obviously did the Godzilla movie.
Yeah.
But you get the sense that it is their ground forces, and this is a gritty, grimy, down on the earth.
Yeah,
kind of
there's a scene where
battle.
our protagonist is on some sort of platform.
Yes.
She's headed towards some sort of platform, and you see a TIE fighter kind of sort of
so good.
fly up to meet her.
And like 100 TIE fighters isn't interesting. You know what I mean? But you do one up close, but it's just a person just standing there,
Yeah,
and a TIE fighter. That's
You'd be like, bloody hell. You know?
I know, Mason.
Bloody hell.
Bloody hell.
Yeah, she might even say that because she's quite British.
She's quite British. Do you think though this has quelled the confusion of where this movie stands in the Star Wars saga?
No.
I don't think so either. I know a lot of people have said, well, this makes it clear because there's Darth Vader and there's
Doesn't
still the
know.
Death Star plans. Because I was speaking to a guy today and he's like, what's this one about? Is this? And I'm like, no, every second year they're doing an anthology. And he's like, what's that? I'm like a spin-off. And he's like, well, when's the next one? I'm like, do you mean the one that's coming up this year or the 8? Like there is... Like, me and you know.
Yeah.
Because we live and breathe Star Wars.
We're on the pulse
Mason.
of it.
We never stop.
There's so many midichlorians flowing through our veins.
If we ever stop to think about it, we have to defibrillate ourselves to
Yeah.
keep on the pulse
We're
of it,
like
Mason.
Star Wars sharks. If we stop for even a moment, we'll sink to the bottom of that weird ocean world in Phantom Menace.
Naboo,
Yeah.
the Gungan City.
The Gungan City. Yes. And we don't want that.
And even though they show Darth Vader at the end,
Yes.
if I didn't know anything about Star Wars, right?
Uh-huh.
Which I do, we're on the pulse.
You know
I'm a
everything
shark
about Star Wars.
and
Yeah.
whatever.
Uh-huh.
I would think, is this a continuation? Is there another Death Star?
Is there another Darth Vader?
Is that Kylo Ren because he got injured in the
That's
last one?
true.
Because he has the Darth
And they were
Vader
like,
helmet.
And they're like, we're going to put him back together.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you're right.
So, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
he's a Darth Vader kind of imposter. Well, not imposter, but you know what I mean? He's kind of built in his image.
He's an enthusiast.
He's an enthusiast.
He's a Darth Vader connoisseur.
He's on the pulse of it. Yeah, so...
Midichlorian.
Yeah, I think a lot of people do get it, but I think we're going to have to get another trailer that's like... And I don't want to see another trailer, quite frankly. This is enough for me.
Yeah, that's true.
I get it. Like, it's fine.
Because the first one was like, here's some interesting visuals. We get a sense of who Felicity Jones's character is.
Yeah, we get some sense of Forrest Whitaker's hair, and
That's
everything we knew about that has just been thrown out the window.
Just blown
mate.
out like his hair, mate. But in this one, it's like, okay, here's some important plot points, and we're drawing the team together.
Yeah.
That's enough.
Right.
I don't want another one.
Yeah,
we're going to
well-
wait till December.
Yes,
Oh, boy.
December 16th.
You going to do another trailer breakdown?
I'll have to, Mason.
have to, that's
I'm in
right.
the biz. Mm-hmm. And business is
Yeah.
pretty good. Red arrows.
It's kind of this. I feel there's some Felicity Jones and Paul Mans Poe Dameron. They're sort of going through like an asteroid belt kind of situation.
Yes.
It's very much.
I think
or
that's-
like watch out for Minox. You
That's
know what I
right.
mean?
I think that's the planet being destroyed.
Yeah,
I
okay.
think because even though the Death Star was first fully tested in A New Hope,
Yeah.
maybe it's like a half-powered one and it just shears
it's
half
got
the planet off.
Maybe with a lightsaber,
Yeah,
with a
maybe.
really big lightsaber.
But I think that's that whole city,
Uh-huh.
or maybe a large chunk of the planet just being torn apart
Okay, sure.
because it looks like that
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
world. So I think they fire it into the planet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I might be wrong, Mason, but I
Mm.
very rarely am. I'm often wrong though, aren't I? In a way. Just in life. I make a lot of wrong decisions, don't I? I've taken some turns that maybe I shouldn't. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, good. I just wanted to see how long that would go. That was very good.
Jimmy Smits, Mason.
Oh yes,
He's confirmed he's back.
as a Bail Organa.
We have not seen him in this trailer. Are you excited to see Jimmy Smits return? We talked about him last week. Oh, did we talk about this?
I think we did, yeah.
already. He's not in this trailer though. That obviously disappoints you. Does it?
Look, all I know is that I said that when he was in NYPD Blue, his badge number was 3118. I looked it up. It is.
Well done,
Thank
Mason.
you. Thank you.
God, you're pretty good at this game, aren't you?
I've got NYPD Blue midichlorians flowing through my veins at all times.
Do you find it interesting though that this is a world where people actually remember the Force, and they're like, and there's still kind of this devotion to it, even if there aren't Jedi. There are people specifically on this planet who aren't letting it go, and because you get to A New Hope, and Han Solo's like, what? Nah.
Oh,
not
I see what
really.
you're saying. Right. Okay.
But this is like, no, this is very much alive. This is something we all remember, and you can't stamp it
I
out
think maybe-
unless you shear off that part of the planet.
Maybe Han Solo's the one holdout though.
Right.
Maybe he's just the one jerk.
And everyone else is like,
Yeah.
are you serious?
'Cause,
He's
like,
like a climate change denier.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, nah. No slowly melting ice cap's gonna control my destiny. I'm my own man. I know what's up.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think he's just the asshole.
He's the bloke. Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough. Well, he's not the smartest guy necessarily, is he?
That's true.
He's cunning.
He's cunning
Like
and
a,
he's
like a shithouse rat, as we say in Australia. That's an expression. Yeah.
yeah.
Enough Darth Vader for you,
Yes, don't give me any more.
but enough Darth Vader for people who have don't know what this is about.
No, not enough.
Yeah.
He should turn around and go,
It's me, Hayden Christensen.
yeah.
You remember.
Still itching from my arms and legs being cut off. Where's my son?
Where is he?
Where is he? I haven't found him yet. Because it's in between.
And I think he's dead. And there's only one of them.
Yep.
But there's not. There's two.
What else could he say? Just to set the time.
Sand.
That'd be pretty good.
Just
yeah.
say that.
You could just say.
That's all he needs to say.
Yeah.
Because he's said enough about it, hasn't he? Quite frankly. Yeah. No, I think you need to see him front on.
Yeah. Okay.
I think that's what you need to see. Or ignite the lightsaber. So you said that he doesn't have like the broken lightsaber.
Right,
but even then,
okay.
I think, you know what, no matter how many story trailers, no matter how many times you say this is set before, some people just aren't going to get it or even know that it's coming out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe you could be like, I hate Alderaan. It's over there. I hate it.
But do non-Star Wars fans know what that is?
No.
Yeah. This is set just before the first Star Wars you saw in cinemas, or maybe you saw it on TV, or maybe then you saw the special edition when they re-released it in 1997.
You could say that, yeah. Which is in the future for me, because this is a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. Yeah, you could say those things.
Yeah. But I think this will not do as well as The Force Awakens. But I think if it's good...
Word of mouth.
I think word of mouth will... And it doesn't have that Bad Boys competition to stomp it down
That's true.
in January. So I think it's gonna do all right.
They've positioned this one wisely.
That's right.
Before Bad Boys.
I have a question from Balthazart, 2 Zs, hashtag weeklyplanetpod. What is your opinion on the Rogue One fan theory that Jyn Erso may be a spy? I think one of them is a spy, at least.
For the Empire.
Yes. I don't think it's her. What do you think?
No, I don't think it is either.
Yeah. I think even if she is a spy, I think it's going to turn around, like she'll have a change of heart.
Because, I mean, they've especially with this new trailer, they've set her up as, we're getting you out of these handcuffs. We already have a great amount of suspicion for you.
Yeah.
So if there's a whole bunch of suspicion laid on her the whole movie, and then it turns out she is a spy, it's a weird progression, right?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I get that. Also, I think at the very end, with the TIE fighter bit, I think she's going to transmit the plans. I think that's what that is.
Yeah.
I don't know whether she's going to get out or not, but I think, because it's not a physical... You see in the previous footage that we saw at Celebration, they're holding like a physical
It's a data tape,
which is what they say.
Looks like a speak and spell.
Exactly, which is what they say in the original Star Wars. They're like, you didn't get the data tapes, Darth Vader, you son of you stupid prick, you dumb fuck. Is that scene? You remember?
Yeah, I remember.
And then maybe, look, we can't transmit this. You need to climb up to the thing and switch the whatever.
Yeah,
Get those power couplings. Get to the Tossish station.
Yeah.
Tossish station.
Exactly.
Get to that tower.
Climb all the parsecs to the top of that
Go
tower.
as many parsecs as you can go, and then just go a few more, mate.
A few more parsecs.
So that's what I think's going on there. But like I said, Mason, I've never been wrong, and I doubt this will be it.
Who could be the other traitor then? Who do you think it is?
I don't want
I
to.
reckon it might be Poor Man's Poe Dameron.
I know. I'm fairly certain who it is.
Yes.
I'm not going to say because it was spoiled in that Celebration stuff.
Oh, okay.
So I'm
All
not
right.
going to say.
Okay.
But I have a fair idea of who
Okay.
it is. Yeah.
Oh, I know who it is.
Yeah. It's me. I love Star Trek. I like them both.
They're pretty good, aren't they?
I
Yeah.
enjoy them both. Anything else,
Let's
Mason?
all work together, guys.
Yeah.
There's no
Let's all
reason.
work-
Just because every Marvel movie's been at least pretty good and every DC movie's been pretty bad, there's no reason we can't all work together.
That's right. Do you think, though, there's also confusion? You said Poor Man's Poe Dameron.
Yes.
You've got, again, like a feisty brunette as the lead. Is that also confusing to people? To be like, is this a sequel?
And they're also British.
Yeah.
No, nobody's going to be confused.
You don't think so?
You'd have to be pretty.
You have to be face blind.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. All right, Mason. Is that everything?
It might be everything.
I was happy to talk about that.
Me also.
Can't wait for the next one. Trailer. Teaser.
I feel you can.
Yeah, I can give or take, to be honest. Let's do the segment of the show that's next. You refer to it as what we're reading, what are we gonna read? And because that is what it's called. Or was it what are we gonna read? What did we initially call it?
Was it originally what you read and what you're gonna read?
Theme song. I'm doing the theme. What are we reading today? I don't know. I don't know, to be honest.
No way of knowing. What have you been reading? Because I can't think of anything.
Well, Mason, I'm happy to step in and
Please
save you
do.
from this awkward and embarrassing situation. I read the new All-Star Batman.
Yes.
Now, before you came over before, and I went, oh no, I'm going to talk about All-Star Batman.
Yep.
And then I went, I can't remember anything about it, and I had to open it and flick
So that's a
through
good
it.
sign.
Well, and then I went, no, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it, but I just couldn't. Maybe it's because I had a few beers at the pub, but I couldn't.
Well.
I couldn't remember anything about it. But what it is, it's about Two-Face. He has to transport Two-Face. And there's a
So
situation
Two-Face
that
has to
unfolds.
transport Two-Face.
Two-Face is transferring himself.
Great.
And there's a situation that unfolds. John Romita Jr. How do you say that?
I say John Romita Jr.
That's
but-
what it probably is.
Yes.
He's doing the art. And I'm not always a huge fan. I don't think his style necessarily applies to everything.
If you don't know him, he's done Kick-Ass. Yep.
He's done a bunch of stuff. And I'm not sure it necessarily applies here. But that being said, it's some of the nicest art I feel that he's done. Like he's kind of made some adjustments. So I think it's me being used to Greg Capullo and then kind of having to adjust to this.
Yeah.
So
Now it's All-Star Batman. So is that suggesting that it's in sort of a non-continuity?
I think it still is in continuity.
Okay.
But I'm not sure like when or where or how or if. But maybe it's not. I couldn't tell you, to be honest. Did you like the All-Star series?
I really loved All-Star Superman.
It's great, isn't it?
And All-Star Batman is something else. Like it's
Like a different book. Like it's something different.
Oh,
than
it's
the
definitely certainly it's a different thing than the thing that I mentioned before that.
Yeah. You liked elements of it. You
I
the
like
bit where
elements. I like the insanity of
You
it.
like the Jim Lee art?
Yes.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It is a case of like Frank Miller just going, what can I get Jim Lee to draw?
Yeah. How can I send Jim Lee crazy? They're still slowly peddling out that Dark Knight 3. Like, I'm sure they've
it's
missed
still
another
going.
month.
Huh.
It's so sporadic.
How many come out?
I want to say 4, but
And
it
how
could
many
be
is it like an
6.
8-issue series or something?
I think it's 8. Maybe it's 6. I don't
Oh,
know.
boy.
But every time I read, I'm like, where are we at with this? Is this
And it
good
started
enough that
okay, right?
It started okay, yeah. And it's got an interesting premise, but they're really dragging it out. And especially because, I'm not just talking about release dates. I feel like the story is, how long is the Dark Knight? How many, is that 4? Dark Knight Returns?
Yeah, it's 4 books. Yeah, it's 4 books.
This
I think,
feels
yeah.
like more like 6 to 8. And it feels it because it's like, can we get to the thing
Yep.
already? All right, Mason, now I'm going to throw it back on you.
Actually, you know what I have been reading?
That's what I
By
was gonna
reading, I
say.
mean listening to. Have you heard of a podcast called You Must Remember This? I'll say that whole thing again so we
Please
get a clean
do.
version. It's called You Must Remember This.
Right.
And it's like a podcast. It's sort of about the history of Hollywood.
Okay.
And so it's like all sorts of different kind of, so it'd be like, there might be one about like what Charlie Chaplin did during World War II, or it might be like,
He made The Little Dictator
yes,
because Hitler loved it. And he was like, in your face, Hitler, I hate you. Here's a movie about how you're a dickhead.
cop that Hitler. So you've heard it, clearly.
No, I haven't. I just
No,
know that
it's,
story.
yeah, it's pretty good. There's like an episode on like short lives of Bruce and Brandon Lee.
Oh,
like
really?
Their whole like how their lives parallel, stuff like that.
Okay.
There's an episode about like the forgotten Frank Sinatra album where he sings about outer space.
What?
It's great.
Why did he do that?
I don't know.
Was that when he was free of the mob? And he's like, I'll do what I want.
Well, no,
I'll
he
follow my dream.
basically he released this in the 80s. He released this album. It was so you know New York, New York, which is
Yeah.
kind of his signature song.
Sure.
He didn't like everybody assumes that he's been singing that like since the 50s or whatever.
Yeah.
But he started singing that in like the 80s.
Really?
But it's from he released a triple album called Past, Present, and Future. And so past is like jazz standards and all that sort of stuff. Present is yeah, the
Like
kind of thing.
80s
And
synth.
and future is like a whole album about outer space. Anyway, I've been listening to it.
Was he like, I'll do a Bowie thing? Is that what that is?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so this is podcast, and it's all about the history of Hollywood, and there's like episodes on like the Hollywood blacklist and all that sort of stuff. It's real good.
Great.
Check into it.
Okay, I will check into
You
it.
should check into it.
Well, Mason, I hope you're ready to check into the next segment
I'm
of
not.
the show.
I'm actually not because I was looking at the. Did look.
I thought you were lining it up. I would have given you more time.
You should give me
I
more
would have given
time.
you more buffer time. Mason, I'm happy to launch straight into letters without the segment if you want.
No. How dare you? Oh, are you getting it ready as well?
No, I'm not.
The classic one was.
Letters, oh letters, we love you. Some letters, they're only a day away.
Hang on, they're here right now. We're gonna do letters.
This is from Ultra Fanboy on Twitter. If you want to send us a tweet, #weeklyplanetpod, you can put at Wikipedia.
Do you think he's a fanboy of the Ultraverse?
It's possible.
The Malibu Comics Ultraverse?
It's entirely possible, Mason.
Ooh.
So yeah, if you tweet that out, #weeklyplanetpod, one word, we'll find it and we'll read a few, won't we?
Yes.
Got 4 this week because one I think will be a short-ish one.
Huh.
But I think it's worth
The
bringing
worst
up.
one.
In a way.
Oh.
No. Who would you guys cast as Shazam / Captain Marvel? Mm-hmm. My pick is John Hamm. That's his pick. Who's your pick?
Oh, that's a good
You
question.
need someone with you need a giant brute of a man with boyish qualities, like The Rock.
Like The Rock, but you can't have The Rock because he's black. Yeah, so...
Yeah.
That's true, because... Well, let's think. I mean, do you need a massive man?
No, I don't think so.
Like-
I mean, Superman is bigger in the comics than Henry Cavill is.
Yeah.
Somehow.
But also, like, if you think of, like, Ben Affleck...
Yeah.
Like, I feel that's kind of Shazam's size.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Like, he's kind of... So you just need someone that huge.
Right,
You
but
know.
a lot of that is padding as well.
Uh-huh.
Did you see Conan got his custom-made superhero suit?
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Like anybody can look.
Yeah,
Not that
okay.
I'm sure he's very muscular in real life, but
He's tall.
he's certainly
tall and rangy.
He's real tall.
Ah, that's a good question.
I can give you one.
Okay, go ahead.
He's got a boyish quality to him.
Okay.
He's big enough.
Yeah.
Channing Tatum.
All right.
Don't love it though.
No, I don't love it.
Yeah. See, neither do I even.
It's the face. You need a boyish quality to the face.
Right.
We've said John Krasinski before, right?
I don't know about that. That's a good one though. I like that.
I think we've mentioned that before, like, because John Krasinski's got two modes.
Yeah.
The Office kind of goof.
Yeah.
With the hair down.
The Office goof.
But then I can't remember. There's a movie
It's a Michael Bay Benghazi movie.
where he's
Yeah.
a Marine.
Yeah.
But there's also another one where he's like part of a love triangle, and he's also a Marine. So he's got that
Right.
look to him.
In the love triangle one. Okay.
He's a tough guy.
He's in the one with Kate Hudson where someone's husband leaves her for someone else.
There's a lot of trailing off in this episode. I don't know if you've noticed.
Don't worry, Mason. I'll fix it all in editing.
Great. Good. I reckon Krasinski. You need someone who looks like Dean Cain back in the day. You know?
So not Dean Cain.
Not Dean Cain now, certainly.
Yeah, well, maybe we'll think on it and come
Okay,
back to
cool,
it
yeah.
another week. This is from at Wackadadoo.
Ooh.
Did we do this guy last week? Maybe we did.
Yeah, I think he got
us again.
He got the username.
Good work. David Brent movie is coming.
That's right.
First of all, do you have any interest in that?
Yes.
I've heard, and this
Mm-hmm.
is my suspicion, that it doesn't, that it's like too much David Brent, because it's just Ricky Gervais directing and starring.
Yep.
And The Office was done with Stephen Merchant as well.
Uh-huh.
And The Office also, the strength of that was the Ricky Gervais character was funny and kind of like a part of that, but a
Yep.
big driving force of that show was the Tim and Dawn and the other
Yeah,
characters
uh-huh.
in The Office.
Yep.
And I don't really want to watch David Brent like tour like Slough with his band and just be miserable for 2 hours. Like, it upsets me.
Right, uh-huh.
Like there's I don't mind the cringe humor, but just like
Yeah.
I don't want to watch a man beaten down for 2 hours and then at the end they're like, maybe it's okay. Necessarily. Because the joy, because that's what it is, it's on the road. The joy
Yep.
of The Office. And the
Yep.
interest was that it was in an office.
Yes.
And I guess they're taking this.
Do you think it's going to be all Drudge? I
Yeah.
think maybe they're taking a more like fantastical slant on it, where it's just like I don't know, like he has setbacks, but it's more Hollywood. It feels more Hollywoodish
Nah,
to me.
I heard he like hires his band members, he pays them, and then tours to nobody.
Oh, okay, right.
So-
Well, that sounds...
Yeah. But
Depressing.
look, maybe it's great. Anyway, he says, what are your favourite British shows? His Spaced, Mighty Boosh, Garth Marenghi's Dark Place, which is fantastic.
Yes, it is.
In-Betweeners. You got any? Hashtag Weekly Planet Pod.
Oh, I'm a big fan of Garth Marenghi's Dark Place.
stuff.
Boy, he said some good ones. Red Dwarf we mentioned
Yep.
last week, which
Got that one?
season 11 and 12 are being filmed back to back. I think they might
Yeah.
be done even.
I hope so.
They're coming out soon.
Cool. What about the IT crowd or the IT crowd?
It's a good one.
It's a good one. Mm-hmm. Did you see the American one? I didn't.
That's the thing about that one is
It's
I was
John
just
McHale,
think-
isn't
Yeah,
it?
I was just thinking about this the other day. Like whenever they speaking of Red Dwarf as well, whenever they attempt to translate certain sitcoms over to American audiences, they have this urge to handsome up the main character.
Yeah.
So when they transferred, they attempted to do it twice, I think, with Red Dwarf.
Same Crichton.
Same Crichton. They got Robert Llewellyn, who was Crichton in the British one, swapped him straight over because you can't see his face, I guess.
Yeah.
And they replaced.
He can be as ugly as you need him to be. It's
Yeah.
fine.
So Kat, who was normally Danny John Jules, she was. They made a female Kat. So
Yeah.
it was Terry Farrell, who is she's Dax in
She's
Star
probably
Trek
in
Deep
Wings.
Space Nine.
Okay, alright.
She's very attractive.
Great.
Rumor I
But
can't
is that
remember.
funny of having a really vain woman? Like, is that as funny as a really vain man?
It's a good question.
Do you know what I mean?
Guess we'll never know.
We won't in a way.
Yeah. But they replaced. Rumor I can't remember. They replaced Lister with Craig Bierko.
Yes,
If you don't know Craig
I know
Bierko, like he's funny, but he's like a very tall, handsome man. So kind of
He was one of Carrie's boyfriends in Sex of the City.
Oh,
if
okay.
that's any
then
indication.
very handsome. And it's kind of like
Who's Rimmer?
I can't remember,
Okay.
but like Lister in the British one, like
He's short and he's kind of roundish.
yeah, and he's very charming.
Yeah.
and you sort of go.
He's affable.
Yeah, he's charming,
But he's a
and
slob
you
and
right, and you
whatever.
go, well, I understand how we would end up here
Yeah.
because he's kind of lazy and he doesn't want to do any work and he kind of just rolls with whatever.
Yeah.
But you look at somebody like Craig Bierko and you go, how did you end up here? Same with Joel McHale, like the guy who plays Roy, like with the American crowd, they kept Richard Ayoade.
They did, yeah.
as Moss.
Yeah.
But they replaced Roy, and that guy is. Like every woman I know is like, he's very handsome and he's very charming. But if you get him to kind of slouch down,
Yeah.
and kind of like get like a
Chris, what's his name? I don't remember. Chris O'Dowd.
Chris O'Dowd,
Yeah.
yeah. Like you get him to and kind of put like a dejected look on his face. You can be like, I totally understand
Yeah, like
why you're
muzz
here.
his hair up.
But
and Joel McHale.
Joel McHale, you're like, how would you possibly end up in the basement of an IT department? Why aren't you the president of the company?
Exactly. He'd actually probably be a good Renham, actually.
Yeah,
He'd be a
no,
better
totally,
Renham
yeah.
than he would be.
Yeah, you're right.
I got some other ones I wrote down earlier, so I kind of cheated a bit. Red Dwarf, you mentioned. Black Books.
Yep, great.
It's great.
Mhm.
QI. It's good.
I've never been a huge fan of QI.
Oh, really?
I'm not.
It depends who's on.
Okay.
Yeah.
If I turn on the TV, which is quite rare, and it's on, I'll watch it.
Yeah.
But I'm not seeking it out.
Okay, fair enough. If you get Alan Davies is always
Yeah.
on, but if
Well, I've mentioned this before on the show. Catastrophe.
what's that?
Catastrophe is a show. It's got Rob Delaney from Twitter, American comedian Rob Delaney, and he is sort of and comedian Sharon Horgan, and basically they had he's come to England. They had a one night stand, and it resulted in a baby. And
Okay.
now he's come back, and they kind of have to make.
Okay, is
They
that
kinda have to
newish?
It's been around for a couple of years.
Okay.
Yeah. It's real good.
fair enough.
It's on like
Still going.
yeah.
All right.
So 2 seasons in or something like that.
Catastrophe.
Catastrophe. Yes,
You like Alan Partridge?
I do.
Me too. Mm-hmm. Now you're a big fan of LOLO, is that right?
No, the randy British comedy set in France during World War II.
Yes.
No, I'm not a fan of that.
Fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Monty Python, obviously.
Yeah,
That Mitchell and Webb look,
that's great.
very funny. I really like Yes Minister. I know it's kind
Do you
of.
think it's aged
No,
well?
I saw an episode not that long ago. I was probably on a plane because it's always on a plane for some reason.
Yep.
But I still think that show holds up really well.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And do you remember Goodnight Sweetheart? This
Yes,
might not
it
be
was-
good.
It was about somebody finds a time travel portal in like their closet,
In the 90s.
and they end up.
They
in World
walk
War
down the
II.
street and and they're in World War II, like the Blitz London. and he tricks everybody in the past that he's actually a British spy.
Uh-huh.
And so he's just kind of ducking back and forth between those two lives. And I remember quite liking it. I don't remember. I don't know if it's actually good, but I remember enjoying it a lot.
Okay.
Any
Hey,
others?
I was going to say, if we can go back to Shazam, Captain Marvel,
Sure.
Bradley Cooper, too
Yeah, I
clean
could
cut.
see that. Maybe a bit too clean. Maybe not big enough, Mason.
Maybe not big enough.
Or plenty big enough.
That's true. What about whichever one of the Winchesters from Supernatural I'm thinking of? You know the one I'm
Sam,
talking about?
the bigger one.
Is he bigger? One with the hair.
They both got hair. Long hair or short
Long
hair?
hair.
Yeah, Sam.
Sam.
Dean's the short-haired one.
Okay,
Dean's the
Sam.
one who would be better as Green Lantern.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sam Winchester.
Okay, I'd
would
see
work,
that.
I think.
Yeah, I'd definitely work.
Yeah.
What about young Tom Hanks? Like big. He's affable.
He's very affable, but no. Not chiseled enough.
Fair enough, Mason. Should we move it along?
Let's move it along.
This is from @PolarBarrett on Twitter. #WeeklyPlanetPod. How tall, this is the short one, how tall should a young Chewbacca be if he's in the Han Solo movie?
Same size.
Correct.
Or even bigger.
How does that work?
I don't know.
'Cause
He
he's-
hunches down in his old age.
He's Chris O'Dowd's it.
Yeah.
Well, because he's in Revenge of the Sith, so he has to be at least that big.
That's true.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But I think that's important that we know that he's the same height, Mason. If not shorter, which is what you said.
Yep.
Last one,
I'm ready.
@Spooniverse15. #WeeklyPlanetPod. Overall thoughts on the summer movie season. Other than Civil War, nothing has been that great. IMO.
Star Trek Beyond.
Maybe we should do an episode on this.
Yes.
Maybe for 150. With that coming up in a couple of weeks. The summer movie season will be over. I have thoughts, Mason.
Yeah.
I think there's been some very middling projects that have kind of come about. I wouldn't say it's been a stellar blockbuster season, as we call it in Oz, because we don't call it the winter movie season, do we?
No, we should though, shouldn't we?
Yeah. Doesn't sound compelling though, does it?
No, but
winter movie season is upon us.
You get a cuppo soup when you come into the theatre. They give you a cuppo soup. Be great.
Yeah.
Your little scarf.
Yeah. You hold it in your scarf so it doesn't burn your little handsies.
And instead of the scarf, it's like your sporting team on it. It just says movies on the scarf. It says movies.
I love winter movie season.
Me too. So cozy.
Yeah.
There's an open fire.
Yes.
Like just directly under the screen, there's an open fire, but it's just like the regular size. So if you're more than like 4 feet away, you can't feel it. So people just gather around the front.
Do you reckon that's an episode though?
Yeah.
Or do you reckon it's one of those things where I don't even remember what we did last year. Do we wait till the end of the year and be like, because I'm sure we've done like best comic book movie of the year, and we can't do that until Doctor Strange comes out.
That's true.
So if we do both, would we do both?
Yeah, let's double up.
So
it's not like we've never doubled up before.
That's true.
Yeah.
We almost constantly double up.
What about Nathan Fillion? Is he too old?
I think he might be too old, yeah. How chiseled is he these days?
No way of knowing.
Okay. That's the show for this week, Mason.
Yes, it is.
I want you to tell everybody where to find us.
Let's see. You can find us at Weekly Planet Pod on Twitter and Facebook and Gmail and Bandcamp, where we've got some audio commentaries.
You do.
I'm at Wikipedia Brown on Twitter.
I'm at Mr. Sunday Movies.
If you want to help out the show, you can go to patreon.com/Mr. Sunday Movies if you wanted to donate a buck a month or something like that.
I will.
Or you could go in the episode description. There's an Amazon link.
Yes.
You just click on that. Goes through to regular Amazon. If you're going to buy something, you're going to buy anyway. Somehow we get a kickback from that.
We don't get it. We don't care. I mean, we don't get how it works.
No, we
get some of the money sometimes.
Sometimes, who's to say?
I went to the bank the other day to put a check in.
Yes.
And then when I got home, because I'd left it for months, and I got home, there was another check in the mailbox. And I'm like, you son of a bitch. Because it's a real ordeal.
That sounds like a real first world problem.
I know, right?
I'm depositing a check and then I got home and another check's just... The checks won't stop. I have to keep going down
like
the post office. It wasn't like a giant
check though, do you know what I mean? It wasn't like
understand.
4,000 euro or whatever. It was like, is this even worth going to the bank check? It was like
Wow.
one of those. But no, it was... we appreciate it.
We do appreciate
regardless.
it. We also appreciate anybody who subscribes to the show.
Yes.
Or tells a friend.
Or writes a review.
Yeah,
we
I mean,
appreciate
a nice review.
Yeah, preferably, obviously.
yeah.
But, you know.
Yeah. Anybody who shouts the name of our podcast from the rooftop.
Correct.
And then waits for people to yell back, what? And then shout it again. And
Anybody-
they're like, what does that mean? And you can be like, it's a podcast. And like, what's a podcast? You'd be like, it's a radio show on the internet by two idiots. So did you have an iPhone?
No, I've got an Android.
There's probably a podcast app of some sort.
Are they on Stitcher?
I don't think so. they're on Google Audio or something.
I don't have that one.
Um,
I've got a Wi-Fi. I don't want to download any apps because I don't have a Wi-Fi
it's
connection.
weeklyplanetpod.libsyn.com.
Can you text it to me?
And then it goes on and on for a while, and then eventually you convince them to subscribe to it. And
Eventually,
we would appreciate that.
You take a can of peaches and you peel the label off and you write in texture on it, Weekly Planet Pod, and you hurl it down to them.
Oh.
And it hits them in the head.
Huh.
That's how you know.
And they lose their memory, and then they wake up and they think they are the Weekly Planet.
That's right, like that episode of Doctor Who, where that other guy thought he was Doctor Who.
Yeah. What else can we do? Oh, thanks to the Brute and the Basilisk and Rackham for all our theme songs.
Yeah.
Thank you to everybody. Thank you to Golden Legend and Fergal Quigley and Matt Young also.
Why is that?
Making the t-shirts on the Redbubble.
He does do a good work.
Great stuff.
I think we're going to have to...
Consolidate?
Yeah, I think I'm talking to T-Public about like put them all in. And everybody still gets money.
Nice.
I'm not saying just us, like the people who make them get a good cut as well.
As long
Hopefully.
as Redbubble still gets money.
Fuck them.
Nice. Nice. Is that it? What else do we say?
I think that's it.
Yeah, nice.
That's all the things. We're going to do a Harry Potter episode, Mason.
Oh.
Do you want to do it next week? We'll do
Sure.
the first two, maybe.
Okay, cool. Let's do
They're
that.
the only two I haven't watched recently. I watched all the other ones because I hate the first two. So.
Great. Well, let's kick it off with a bang. Two movies I haven't seen in a very long time, which I'm pretty sure I don't like, and you definitely hate them because you just said you did. So let's talk about them next week. I love it.
Unless something else comes up or we think of a different topic.
We'll definitely do those things then
Yeah.
instead.
There's some longevity to that franchise, though, and I appreciate it.
All right.
All right. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Grab that gem, you guys. Bye.
Goodbye.